Every March in the NHL comes a phenomenon called the March of the Penguins, but this season for the Pittsburgh Penguins is a staggering march. Today's game kicks off 17 games in the month, and most of them are coming against playoff teams that are currently in the standings. They face the Vegas Golden Knights today, who entered their second game of a four-game Eastern Conference road trip after falling to the Washington Capitals 2 days ago, 3-2. Pittsburgh is in the second game of a back-to-back, having lost 3-2 in the shootout to the New York Rangers yesterday. After a strong start, things just fell apart for them. However, they want to get back on the winning ways. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava, and before we get on board for previewing this game, we have some news to break out of Los Angeles. The Kings have fired head coach Jim Hiller and promoted DJ Smith to head coach after a very disastrous start to the season, in which they have been midway around the wild card spot, which has been well below their standards of what they want to go with. What they want to go to is the playoffs again, and even winning a round. So far, that has not been going to plan for them, and the injuries to Kevin Fiala and Andrei Kuzmenko have derailed those plans. Nonetheless, they've been every bit of the making of a team that is midway around wild cards and nothing more. There's no more playoff hopes for them if they can't keep on going with this. We're in Pittsburgh, by the way. It is the Penguins and the Vegas Golden Knights for today's meeting. It is 1 o'clock p.m., March 1st, and March means madness. It is not college basketball that we're talking about today, even though there are college basketball conference tournaments coming up soon. Well, we're going to get to that later. Right now, it is the push for the playoffs. It is a nice day in Pittsburgh. Alec Nava here with you on the play-by-play as we preview both teams. It's their first meet between the two teams. The Penguins' strong start turned to a shootout loss, and it didn't look like they were squandering opportunities early in the game, most notably on Brian Rust's disallowed goal, and then Rust hitting the post. Given how the schedule is coming, starting with Vegas, who are first in the Pacific Division, letting a point slip away against the last place team hurts them in the moment. One could anticipate line changes for the Pens after winning just 21% of their faceoffs yesterday, 6 of 29. And when taking out Evgeny Malkin from the consideration, they were just 4 of 25 for the faceoff dot. Rickard Rakell lost all 10 of his faceoffs and did not record a shot on goal. Something has got to give in that line center position, whether it ends up being Malkin or even Ben Kindle. While a pair of Vegas forwards have reached significant milestones, with Mitch Marner recording 800 career points, Tomas Hertl reached 600, they fell by 3-0 to the Capitals and were unable to solve former Knight Logan Thompson a third time, following 3-2. They got to their game, but it took 40 plus minutes to find it, and were unable to climb out the 3-goal hole. It's not clear whether the lackluster and disjointed start was more of the same from a Knights team that was forced to chase far too often this season, or if it was more of a consequence of incorporating 5 key players into the lineup in their second game back for the Olympic break. Either way, the Knights were not good enough. Vegas has a great process to keep shots and chances down, yet they allow a lot of 5-on-5 goals because of bad goaltending. Like the Pens, Vegas is a winger playing center. In this case, it's Marner, who was brought to the role because of a mysterious injury to William Karlsson and has not played since November. And in the case of the Penguins, Rakell is at center because of Sidney Crosby getting injured in the Olympics during Canada's win over Czechia. You know what to watch here, beginning with the Golden Knights. Knights fans have to wait even longer to watch their team live. They start the second half of their season on a 5-game road trip. Although their slow start doomed them to an almost comeback against the Caps, they're looking to capitalize on a Pens roster missing Crosby. The Knights are a very, very talented team that's riding on the struggle bus lately. A three-headed monster, Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, and Mitch Marner. And it's only fair to suggest that the wins will back it up. But since coming back, they played a very strong 5-on-5 game. Just a 2-game sample size, but they rank 4th in expected goals since returning for the Olympic break and defensively ranks 8th. The biggest part of their game is their power play, scoring at a 5th best clip of 25.7%, and are excellent on the penalty kill, killing off 80.7% of their penalties. But Eichel's line of him, Stone, and Ivan Barbashev was outshot 9-0 in 10:43 of ice time against Washington. It was on the ice for one of their goals. The only Vegas line that had positive possession numbers in that game was Marner's line of him, Pavel Dorofeev, and Riley Smith, who had 8 for his shot attempts and controlled 81.92% of the expected goal share in 9:03 of ice time. 1 goal in 10 games for Blue Liner might not stand out, but for Rasmus Andersson, it does. He had 10 goals and 30 points with Calgary before the trade, averaging double digits in points in the last 3 years. Goaltending has been a huge problem, however. Adin Hill's stats have been falling since the 2023 playoffs. Kara Schmidt is Vegas' best goalie this season, and his stats aren't really all that impressive, as he has recorded a save percentage of .895, goals against average of .255. The .895 save percentage, ouch. Adin Hill's numbers, .344 GAA, .865 save percentage, yikes. For the Pens, there were curious questions about what to expect for them after Crosby went down, but at one point it did seem like his absence would be a hindrance after winning against the Devils, 4-1. Plus, after pulling away 2-0 against the Rangers, it looked like they were on their way to a win. That didn't happen. That didn't happen for them. Obviously, Crosby boosts Pittsburgh's confidence, but they still have confidence as we're underway here. Let's get rocking and rolling here from Pittsburgh. We'll have more on the Penguins later. As starting with this is Vegas at the Pittsburgh zone. Moving inside is Kolasar, right around Girard, who was recently acquired from Colorado. Brett Kulak went the other way. Girard came along with 2028 second-round pick. Back for Rasmus Andersson. Coming over from Calgary, represents Sweden at the Olympics. Braden Bowman checked it away. It comes to Pittsburgh, though, stuck in the neutral zone. Sticked away as this will be Tomas Hertl bringing this back in. Left point, Malkin puts the boom on him. 2-on-2, back guard the Penguins as Malkin moves up. He'll decide to snap out at this, and the Golden Knights stick it away. Picked back up by Vegas as Lauzon fires this right onto Silovs. Silovs is getting the start because Stuart Skinner started yesterday, the shootout loss. It is Parker Wotherspoon moving this up with the puck. Through the middle, this one deflected onto the far corner. Vegas is the first one back with Lauzon there. Lauzon tried to feed it over towards the far half boards. Raquel centered it up for Rust, and that was sticked away. The Golden Knights are back with this as Mark Stone chips it forward for Jack Eichel. Gold medalist with the United States is Vegas. One-timer McNabb, and that's fired wide. Held inside by Kaden Korsak. A pass intended for Eichel was knocked away, and it will be Pittsburgh moving this into the other end. Fired around for the left point. Will be recollected behind the boards by McNabb for Vegas. It'll be Barbashev up the far side. One-on-one as he takes this head on. Barbashev drops back for McNabb. Loads on up. Glove saved by Silovs. It is loose in the swat. Poked away by the Pens. They'll move this one up near side. Blake Lizotte bodied away, and it'll be Dorofeev who'll pick it up. On the right side, Martyr tried to set one up for Barbashev, who's still out there on the ice. Puck at the far corner. Sticked away by Shea. Lizotte also there. Dorofeev tried to fight for the loose puck, but it's Erik Karlsson who flips it down. It will be an icing here as we get back to what to expect from Pittsburgh. While the time of Crosby's injury is not ideal, the fact is there's no easy way to replace it. It's a huge opportunity for Ben Kindle to continue establishing himself as a big game player. He continues to be one of Pittsburgh's best players. In the middle of the season, he seemed to have a low slip offensively. Expected though that he's 18 years old. And the 11 games before the break, the Pens had a 13-2 goals advantage and hold 58.9% of the expected goal share. He has only had 3 individual games in that stretch with an expected goal share below 59% to under 50%. He's been over 60% 5 times. Even without Crosby, the Penguins are pointing to a 4th best expected goals rate in the 2 games, and defensively, they've held their own to some extent. Saved by Silovs off the long shot for the point. Vegas is cycling this one around. Barbashev looking this one back. Long shot, didn't make it all the way through as it went off the knee of Marner, and he is very slow to get up. He jumps back up onto his feet, though. That suggests he's alright. Took an awkward bounce off his knee. Silovs is getting to start. His first game back, he stopped 30 of 31 against the Devils. It's a nice low shooting opportunity as it was Evgeny Malkin who put the boom on Tomas Hertl. Martyr takes an awkward shot block right off his knee. That was for one of his that shot was coming from one of his teammates. Friendly fire. Ouch. Face off one by the Pens. It'll be Ryan Shea who'll clear, glove down, and moved up through the middle and into the zone. Connor Dewar flips it around the net. Lizotte to pick it up. Saad could. And it'll be Cole Reinhardt who slots into the lineup as this puck was poked away. Lizotte. Shea couldn't handle it, but he chaps it over to Connor Clifton. Off of the near side, the Pens will chip this one around. It is Shea Theodore who'll scoop it up. Near side, it is Lauzon. Lauzon fires around. Silovs lets this one go. Will be played by Pittsburgh at that near corner of their own zone. Up for the middle, the Knights stick it away. Braden Bowman on the hold. Near half boards, it'll be chipped on down for Girard. Colasar missed the hit. Girard wants to clear. He does so with some help. It'll be retrieved all the way back by Shea Theodore, part of Canada in the Winter Olympics. Anthony Mantha looked to shove him away. As we play all the way down for Silovs, former Vancouver Canuck. Girard waiting for the line changes as Bowman playing the surveyor. Through the middle, here's the give and go. Through the middle, galloping around. Ben Kindle lost it as he overskated. Vegas on the way back. Penguins looking for their first shot on goal. Jack Eichel leads the way left point. Here's Noah Hanifin. Stopped by Silovs on a tight angle. Vegas will pick it up. Barbashev gets plastered at the near side. And Eichel almost misplayed the pass. Anderson kept it in. Tipped around back to Eichel as he surveys back to the left point. Hanifin, long shot. Kicked out by Silovs. Barbashev ran out of room to shoot. He'll survey at the far corner. Will pass back for Hanifin. He'll slap pass down low for Eichel. Anderson holds. Pass in front. And that is knocked away by Chinikov. Tommy Novak. Plastered by Anderson. Now be sent right back over to Eichel. Jack Eichel initiates the line change as he sends it over to McNabb. And now Eichel's out to the bench. McNabb moves it up near side. McNabb fires around through the boards. Will be collected up at the far corner. Puck still free. The Pens have it. Moving it across to Achari. And this takes a bounce. Swinging a miss clear for Korsak. Evgeny Malkin on the ice. The pass comes out in front. Vegas picks it up. Riley Smith moves to the far side. Shoved away by Waterspoon. Waterspoon sends it over behind Silovs. To Achari. The pass comes out in front. And Anderson's shot is blocked in front. McNabb will try one. Airmails the shot. This will come to Smith. Scoop back up by Vegas on a big hit. Woo. Back over to Marner, who's alright after taking that shot block. Pass back was knocked away, and it comes back to the neutral zone. Smith starts the re-entry. Smith, pass across, and a diving knockaway to block off the pass. And Pittsburgh comes back up the far side. Noah Achari, rather Erik Karlsson sends this one up. Penguins still looking for their first shot on goal, and the Knights have iced it. So I didn't go over the starting lines, but here's Vegas' lineup. Ivan Barbashev, Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, Pavel Dorofeev, Mitch Marner, Riley Smith, Braden Bowman, Tomas Hertl, Keegan Colasar, Brandon Saad, Colton Sissons, Alex Holtz, Jeremy Lauzon, Shea Theodore, Noah Hanifin, Rasmus Anderson, Brandon McNabb, Caden Korsak, Akira Schmidt, Aiden Hill. Though I could be wrong on one of them because one of them is a healthy scratch on this lineup. If you get a little more time here and more patience, you'll be getting the opportunity to get. Here is Pittsburgh off the face-off win. Shot goes wide. Blake Wazak couldn't pick it up. The Knights clear this one down. This will be played all the way down for another icing. But Bruce Cassidy, one of the best coaches in the NHL. I'll say a top 3 coach, but Vegas has been very used to slow starts this season. That's getting tiring. Yesterday, they had to go up with a slow start. He wants his team to be more active towards the puck. 174, 90, and 41 is his coaching record between Washington, Boston, and Vegas. Face off won by Vegas. They want to clear this down this time. Karlsson kept it in, so the tired bodies will have to stay on. Vegas on the retrieval again. Dorofeev waits. Will drop back again. Up the far side as Lauzon sends this one past the red line, and Vegas will finally go on their change. Karlsson to Lauzon. Blake was up the near side. Colton Sissons there. So the healthy scratch is Alex Holtz. As twisting and turning was Tommy Novak. Puck deflected away by Novak. Karlsson can't hold the zone. Cole Reinhardt fired it in. Swing and a miss. And oh my goodness. Somebody lost their stick. Picked back up as Brian Russ cuts away from the defender. Russ fires. And is wide of the crease. No chance for Schmidt to make that stop. Puck cannot be cleared out as Chris Letang is looking to hold. He did so for a moment. Flip down, and this is at the point, but Vegas outmuscles their way to get the clear. Girard to Letang. These two are having formed a second pairing ever since the trade as Kindle sets it up. Manfa to Brazo. Brazo pass across. He still holds it. Brazo in front. And Kindle's shot didn't make it through. Letang to Girard again. Pass to Kindle. Kindle's long shot. And it was deflected off towards the glass. The Golden Knights get this one up. Tomas Hertl looking to split the defense. Hertl from the left circle. Trying to jam it around through the near side. And it goes behind Silovs, picked up by the Pens. The Penguins looking to clear this one down. They do. It's near their bench. Picked up by the Knights again. Across the red line. Sending this towards Silovs. He'll play this one on mishandle. And the Penguins will ice this puck. All the way down. So we'll get the Penguins lineups here. Igor Chinnikov, Tommy Novak, Evgeny Malkin, Avery Hayes, Ricard Raquel, Brian Rust, Anthony Manfa, Ben Kindle, Justin Brazo, Connor Dewar, Blake Wazat, Noah Chari. Parker Wotherspoon, Eric Carlson, Sam Girard, Chris Letang, Ryan Shea, Connor Clifton, Arturs Silovs, Stuart Skinner. Dan Muse, first-year head coach coming over to New York Rangers, has his Penguins second in the Metro with a 30-15-13 record. Novak to take the faceoff. He has Anthony Manfa and Justin Brazo with him. Up against Jack Eichel. Both started to face off, so I have to do this over again. Here, this is Vegas off the face-off draw. Anderson's places around near side, or rather far side, as Eichel had it knocked away from him, and the Pens will chip this down slightly. Puck's loose. Malkin gets it over for Chinnikov, and his shot is kicked out by Schmidt. Malkin towards the left point. Clifton backhands it down deep. Anderson there. Anderson looking to clear. Eichel had it knocked away from him once and twice now. Novak will keep. Novak drops back for Shea. Quick pass over to Clifton. Chinnikov to Malkin, and then back for Chinnikov. Pass went by Shea, and the Golden Knights can't send this down. Now they do. It's stolen. Can't clear it. Ryan Shea's long shot, and partially deflected away by Novak towards the goal. Can't get this one through. Malkin has to wait. And now in stride is Chinnikov. Chinnikov's backhander is kicked out by Schmidt. Ran out of room to get any more elevation on that. And now here's Malkin. Has space. Pass in front. Deflected over to Chinnikov. Walked in front. Broke his stick on the ice. Clifton, toe drag. One-timer. Chinnikov stopped by Schmidt. Chinnikov can't pick it up. Raquel tied up at the near corner by Lauzon. Riley Smith there. For on this puck battle, crowd on their feet for sustained zone time here from the Pens. Excellent pressure as Malkin jams it away. The pass backwards didn't work. Trying to go on the back towards the right point, and it backfired. And the Golden Knights will get new bodies onto the ice once they get the opportunity. Mitch Marner, not that clear. Ricard Raquel re-enters in. Far side, Rust. Pinned towards the boards. Raquel pinned as well. McNabb jams it free. It'll be Riley Smith. Smith looks across. Intended for Dorfeev. Knocked away by Carlson. Eric Carlson waits up the far boards. This puck takes a bounce over to Hayes. Rost around. This will bounce over to Hayes. And Avery Hayes will knock it back to Letang. Hayes. Long shot didn't go through. He was looking for the pass, actually. So it was not really a shot. Now back over towards the offensive zone as Lazat gets knocked away by McNabb. To the far corner. Dewar to Chari. Looked to go back to Dewar. Sod was there. And it's cleared out. Over to Girard. Past the halfway mark of this first period. Swept away. And the Golden Knights will want to move this one up. Sissons. Shoved near the Penguins bench. Dewar outmuscled by Sod. Letang has it. Through the middle. In the neutral zone, the Pens sent this one to Schmidt's end. Schmidt got it to the far corner. Still, this puck battle rages on, but it ends with Hannafin moving this one up and through the middle. This is the Golden Knights. Assad sends one over, and a shot goes wide. Silovs out the crease. Oh my goodness, there was so much room to shoot that puck, and it didn't go all the way to the net. Ben Kindle Backhands it directly to a Golden Knight. Out in front. Towards the slot. Too many Penguins there. The puck is cleared down the ice. They've gone through so much minutes without a whistle. Nice to see continuous action here in this game. And moving up is Braden Bowman. He's been sensational his rookie year. Anthony Mantha moves this one up. Passes back. The Pens will control this one at the near side. We'll send this one across the ice. As Kendall leads on towards the ice. Looking to break out cleanly. Waiting is Shea. Up the near side. Puck bounces over to Mantha. Almost lost the handle to Hurdle. Centering pass, and the stick knocked away. The Pens will look to bounce it back. Erik Karlsson skates smoothly towards the puck at that left point. Around the far half boards, this one will cycle over to Kindle. Kindle, long one-timer by Karlsson, and that hit the glass. Vegas gets it out. They'll control and fire it around the boards. Bounces behind Silovs. And Karlsson will pick it up and lead the way back. Almost turned it over as Malkin almost mishandled the puck. Mark Stone gets tangled up by Parker Wotherspoon. Muscle free, and Karlsson will restart. Novak. One off a skate, and this will be Anthony Mantha overskate the puck. Vegas on the reset. Pittsburgh chops away at the puck, and Vegas let this one take a bounce right onto the penalty box glass as Ivan Barbashev mishandled the pass, and the Knights will reset. Shots are 4-3 in this low event first period. It's very low event. Nothing much happening here. It was mostly Vegas at the start of this period, but it's now all Penguins here. Now, this game has turned into a battle of attrition, a war of attrition. Ross flips it over towards the far quarter. Anderson and Hayes both there. Marner too. Pride free onto the left point as Girard goes across for Letang. Letang long shot, the rebound. A stick tangle up. Right on Achari, I think, or rather that's Raquel. That centering pass gets knocked away. And on the other way is Riley Smith off the stretch pass. Smith can't get around Letang. And the Pens will move it up. Here is Brian Rust off the hit from Girard, and Rust overskate the puck. Want to have that be a 3-on-2. As right in front of the Vegas bench, Rust tried to chop it through. Rust gets stick with it. The Knights can't clear it down, but it'll end up on their sticks. McNabb finds Korsak as the Knights are changing at their own bench. Waiting for the play to break out. Fresh bodies on the ice. McNabb and Korsak back deep. 6 minutes left in the first period. Amazingly, this game has gone by so fast. In this period, rather. Whichever one you would like to go. 6 minutes left. By now, there'll be a lot of ice scrapages here. That broken stick is still behind Schmidt's crease. This puck bounces to the right point as Clifton goes across. And that bouncing puck goes in front. Brandon Saad is right in front of the play as Saad. He'll have to wait after he was a breakaway target. Puck picked up right near the slot. And here's Lazon. All the way back up at the point. Bodies in front. Pass over to Kolasar with a long shot. That bounced off a skate. And Shea will play this over towards the near half boards. Bouncing puck goes out of the zone. Shea Theodore will reset. With 5:18 left, we still have no whistle. No ice scrapage, rather. Erik Karlsson resetting the play. 5:10 to go. No score. Ben Kendall picks it up. And here's a high shot. Score! Ben Kendall, 18 years old, opens the scoring in PGH. He's closing in on 20 goals on the season. That's his 15th of the year. At this point, with at most 25 games left of the season for every team, Ben Kendall goes high slot on this one and traverses all the way through and does some quick thinking to fire here the shot. Pad side off the blocker and onto the net. 15, what a season he's been having. And what a pick that Kyle Dubas has made with Kendall. 11th pick and immediately paying off dividends for the Pens in his first year with the team. The youth movement showing its full energy. The Pens have scored a game-opening goal 37 times this season, second most in the NHL. The Pens are going back to work immediately. One-timer! As lifted up above Schmidt's net. The Pens continuing to be on the attack. The Golden Knights looking to get this one through, and it'll be Tomas Hertl. Hertl centering pass never made it to Kolesar. And oh my goodness, that shot bounced off of one of the Knights. McNabb missed on the pass, and here's Korczak who settled this back down. Bowman. McNabb again. McNabb lost one, deflected wide. Malkin clears it out. McNabb will reset with it. McNabb. Tomas Hertl gets muscled off the puck. Vegas will scoop it up away from all Pens. Now it's Pittsburgh with it after Vegas turned it over. 4:10 to go, and it's Memphis will hold at the right point. Spins it around the backhand pass. Razzo left it behind for Kindle. Centering pass knocked away by Theodore. Bouncing puck over towards the left circle. The Pens going back to work. Kindle's long shot. Second effort. Walked in front. Jay Theodore picks it up right behind the net. Up the far boards. It'll be cleared out as Letang will reset. The Golden Knights have it again. At center ice, it'll be sent to Eichel. Jack Eichel. Second game back with the Olympic break after winning a gold medal with the United States. The counts for Massachusetts native. Out there on the ice with Mark Stone and Ivan Barbashev. Eichel and Stone faced off against one another in the gold medal game. Stone representing Canada, being an Ontario native. He's coming over. He's not Ontario. He's Winnipeg. It's Mark Stone. And some of these passes for Vegas are off the mark. He's actually from Winnipeg, actually. So excuse me on that. From Winnipeg, Manitoba. 3 minutes left in the first period as Brian Rust moves it over far side. And in this low event first period has transpired by so quickly that sped up the game a lot. Ryan Shea goes one-on-one with his man Cole Reinhardt defensively. And this will be Pittsburgh clearing the zone. No penalties to speak of. One goal. That's from 18-year-old Ben Kindle. On the near side, Colton Sissons drops back over towards the left point. McNabb over to Sissons. All the way back. Korczak almost mishandled it. Gets it over to McNabb. Swung it around. The pass missed. And the Pens get this one out. Held inside by the Knights. By McNabb. A stick tie away on Brandon Saad by the Pens. This will be jarred free by Achari. The Knights will reset their own zone. Blake Wazat and Cole Reinhardt battle for the puck. With approximately 2 minutes to go in the first period. Flipped down the ice by the Knights. Erik Karlsson takes over. And Blake Wazat gets it out. And the Golden Knights will chop this one down the ice. Parker Wotherspoon from behind his own net. One-on-one battle between Jeremy Lauzon. And at this puck battle of the boards, the Pens get this one out. Pass intended for Chinnikov, intercepted by Bowman. And through the far side, the Golden Knights will initiate line changes. Erik Karlsson will reset. The Knights will scoop it back up. Just held inside the line by Smith. And Smith will take his time with it. Around the boards, over towards the right point for Anderson. Anderson will reset again for Barbashev. Shot pass from Hannafin to Anderson. Malkin on him. Jack Eichel running up the puck. Anderson on the hold. Anderson in front for Eichel. He falls down and couldn't get a clean shot. 1:10 to go as Karlsson looks to get this one up and out for the glass. And finally, we get an ice scrapage with 1:08 left in the first period. The only goal of the game from Ben Kindle. We've gone nearly 19 minutes without an ice scrapage. We'll finally get one. 18 minutes and 52 seconds have transpired without an ice scrapage, so the ice crew gets an extended break. Well, we haven't seen a long break from the ice crew like this since, the Stanley Cup final. I covered that with John Ott, and we gone 17 minutes without an ice scrapage. Ben Kindle, drafted by the Pens in the first round, 11th overall. He is 4th among NHL rookies in goals, having recorded 15. He has scored 6 goals in the 6 games before the Olympic break. He's been a sensation for the Pens, and there's more of the youth movement on the way. Ville Koivunen, Rutger McGroarty, Harrison Brunick. Off the faceoff, it'll be Vegas. Both fighters run down near side. Coming up on 1 minute to go. On the far quarter, the Pens get this one out. Onto the near side. This will be moved up by Letang, looking for their second goal. Chris Letang backhand this one down, and this will be intercepted by Jack Eichel. Shots are 5-5 apiece. As Eichel goes to Anderson, and Anderson gets this one down. A trio of Olympians out on the ice right now. Anderson, Eichel, and Stone. Here's Russ back the other way. Brian Russ surveys from the high slot. Deflected, and that's stopped by Schmidt. Out inside the left point. Chris Letang will go for a long shot. Schmidt there. Noah Hannafin knocked it down. And the Golden Knights will go back with this puck. 20 seconds to go. And Eichel waits patiently with this. Goes down on deep. Kendall lets this one go. With 12 seconds left, as the Pens are looking to play keep away from the Golden Knights. Did the Pens go with one last rush here? 6 seconds left. Now 5 seconds. This will be going all the way down the ice. And time will run out. It is 1-0 Pittsburgh. The only goal coming from 18-year-old Ben Kindle. The 11th pick of the 2025 draft is shining bright here in Pittsburgh. When we come back, it'll be the first intermission report as we have more on Jim Hiller's firing. I'm Alec Nava. We'll see you then for the Hiller firing plus more rumors and rumblings of the trade deadline. the Penguins lead the league with 41 different players used on the season. Ben Kindle, one of those, has the only goal of this game as the Pens are up 1-0 on the Golden Knights. Welcome to the Intermission Report. I am Alec Nava. And Dan Muse, this young coach, with Sidney Crosby out, it's a test of adversity for the Pens, and so far they are up to the task. Ben Kindle, the lone goal, is unassisted. His unassisted goal. Hits are 9-7 Vegas. Shot 6-5 Pittsburgh. And both teams are even on the face-off dot. 4 apiece between the two of them. And the Penguins need 3 more to pass their face-off win total from yesterday against the Rangers. Ouch. The Knights have recorded all 3 takeaways. Block shots are 8-6 Vegas and the giveaway 7-5 Pens. And so far for the Pens, it's a test of adversity about Sidney Crosby being out. But they're rolling well ever since trading for Igor Chinakhov. Danton Heinen going the other way. Crosby is out for 4 weeks, retroactive to the time of his injury. So this as for what is going to go through, the Pens may need to target a center at the trade deadline, especially knowing about the face-off struggles. After the 3-2 shootout loss, the Pens are still second in the Metro Division, 9 points behind the Carolina Hurricanes, tied points-wise to the New York Islanders. Even if the team is in a good position now, they have the toughest strength of schedule remaining for the regular season. They'll be forced to make it through most of it without Crosby. So there are several centers that they can target at the trade deadline, given the predicament and that they're at. So there are 5 possible options that they can target, one of those being Braden Shen. Doesn't really fit the mold of younger players with term that Kyle Dubas and the Pens would want to acquire. He's also 34, owed $6.5 million for 2 more seasons, and has seen a steep drop in production this season, registering just 12 goals and 24 points in 59 games. But this could be a situation where the Pens might be able to buy low on Shen from the struggling Blues, and potentially even after the draft cut board. They won't be able to get Shen for nothing, and there's some inherent risk attached. But its playoff experience, two-way prowess, and knack for not shying away from physicality could suit the Pens well down the stretch, especially without Crosby. But it also provides an opportunity for Ben Kindle to get elevated in the lineup without repercussion. Shen's a good, reliable third-line center option. Dawson Mercer could be an intriguing name to keep an eye on. The Devils are unexpectedly in legitimate contention for a lottery spot this season. He has 13 goals and 30 points in 60 games, and he is the exact kind of player that the Pens and Dubas would be interested in if available. He probably will fit the mold of the player archetype that Dubas tends to gravitate toward as well. He's a high IQ playmaker with excellent vision, a 200-foot game, positional versatility, and a potential higher ceiling in terms of production. The cost will likely be fairly high, and there's no guarantee that the Devils' 18th overall pick in 2020 is even on the market. Even if Tom Fitzgerald expressed that he is ready to shake things up with the roster. But if he is, the Pens should be calling on him, who's signing at $4 million through the end of next season. Shane Wright is another young player that could be available. He's failed to establish the consistency at the NHL level so far, and it seems his value has decreased a bit. Although the Kraken may not be keen to sell lower on the 22-year-old and 4th overall pick in 22, they do have some up-and-coming center depth in their organization, namely Jake O'Brien, and they may be able to get some value in return. As of January, the Kraken were apparently looking for a scorer in return, so it might be a situation where an established NHL player could go the other way. Someone like Justin Brazeau or Anthony Mantha, even Ricard Raquel. Seattle is currently in the second wildcard spot in the West, so they too are fighting for a playoff spot. But it remains to be seen how they approach the deadline, or if Wright is even on their trade board. Vincent Trocheck is one of the names available. It's no secret the Rangers are shifting to a rebuild. They'll be surely looking to shed some of their veterans, making Trocheck one of their top options on the trade market. He's signed through the end of the 2029 season at $5.625 million, which makes his contract a bit hefty to take on. He's just about as good as a third-line center option out there. His 12 goals and 38 points in 45 games would certainly help with the Pens' offensive attack. However, even if he could help the Pens this season, his lengthy contract and age don't fit into the Penguins' future plans, he is likely to come at a premium, though a team like the Minnesota Wild would be a better fit. There are probably options that make better sense on the market, as I said, with the Wild and the Colorado Avalanche, but if for whatever reason he had a low cost, it may be worth it. And here's a big one. Elias Pettersson. His name is here again. At this point, it should come as no surprise. But the Canucks in the basement of the league by a long shot, it's likely that Patrick Allvin will be in a position to sell. Not long ago, he was one of the very best centers in the league, but he's fallen off in the last 2 seasons. Only 13 goals and 35 points in 51 games this season. His $11.6 million cap hit through 2030 seems daunting, but the Pens certainly have the cap space. He might be the perfect example of an underperforming elite player who's long overdue for a change of scenery. Because of his cap hit's declining production for 2 consecutive seasons, the Pens may be able to buy low. If the price is right, Pettersson should be considered, especially since when, at his best, the 5th overall pick in 2017 is one of the elite playmaking centers in the NHL and is a pretty nasty weapon in shot too. A 3-time 30-goal scorer. For that part. Let me go over to Yegor Chinnikov. Or rather, the firing of Jim Hiller, as we were talking about. DJ Smith is taking over as the interim and is expected to serve in that role for the rest of the season. It's a bad month in February, including a 5-game losing streak that ended on Saturday with a 2-0 win over the Calgary Flames. They were outscored 14-5 in a pair of losses coming off the Olympic break, despite trading for Artemi Panarin. Hiller was promoted head coach after the midseason firing of Todd McClellan in 2024. Smith was the head coach of the Ottawa Senators for parts of 5 seasons and joined the Kings after that as an assistant coach. The Kings are 5th in the Pacific Division and 3 points out of a wild card spot. They're looking to make the most of Anshay Kopitar's final season in the NHL. He announced his retirement in September. But there's more than just injury luck. Yes, the injuries have been piling up. Kevin Fiala is out for the rest of the season after breaking his left leg at the Olympics, playing for Switzerland. And it was also announced that Andrei Kuzmenko is week to week after undergoing surgery to repair a torn meniscus. The Kings made the playoffs the last 4 seasons, lost to the Oilers in the first round each and every time. And one of the big criticisms of Hiller is his unsuccessful coach's challenge of the Oilers game-tying goal in Game 3 of the first-round series. Edmonton went on to win every game since in that series. That was the momentum shifter after that series. But, oh my goodness. What a disaster that was on the Jim Hiller part. One of the worst disasters, one of the most disastrous hirings in recent memory for the Kings. It's in his 2nd full season in charge of the Kings, and the Kings were looking lifeless. And the 8-1 loss to the Oilers. Fans were breaking the repeated chants of fire Hiller, while the Oilers were pouring it on in the 2nd and 3rd periods of LA's largest defeat of the season by far. The night before, they allowed 5 goals in the 3rd period of an embarrassing 6-4 loss to a shorthanded Vegas team in both teams' first game back from the Olympic break. A 2-0 win against Calgary was not enough to save Hiller's job. So long-time assistant coach got his first chance to lead a team when the Kings promoted him to replace the fired McClellan. He righted their season, got the Kings to the playoffs, but they lost in 5 games to the Oilers. Hiller maintained McClellan's commitment to defense-first hockey, the Kings' primary identity, even if it sometimes meant playing a boring style for fans. And Ken Holland addressed the offensive problems by acquiring Panarin, but the Kings lost Fiala for the season when he broke his leg. Ouch. And we're almost getting set for the 2nd period. And Hiller, he was this Kings' 5th coach since the firing of Darryl Sutter, who led the Kings to their only 2 Stanley Cup championships. They have not won a playoff series since raising their 2nd Stanley Cup in 2014. They won just 9 total games and 6 first-round exits. That makes Hiller just the 2nd coach fired in the NHL this season. Rick Bowness would replace Dean Evason in Columbus back in January. As for that, the defense has been key for the Penguins so far in the season. In the Penguins' first game back, they honored U.S. Olympian Jack Hughes in his comeback, and the Blue Jackets honored Zach Werenski as well for winning the Olympic gold. Spotlight focused on Werenski on the Blue Jackets bench. The fans gave him a raucous standing ovation of USA chants in the arena. It's nice to see the Johnny Gaudreau tribute after the gold medal. As we come back, it is 1-0 Penguins. We went almost 19 minutes without an ice scrapage. We'll be right back in just a moment. Just 8 faceoffs in the first period. The only goal from Ben Kindle, the 18-year-old rookie for the Pittsburgh Penguins, picked 11th overall in the NHL draft last year. And few players of his caliber who get picked in the middle of the first round make an instant impact, but he is making an instant impact right here and right now, as has been the case time and time again throughout the season. And there were question marks about Mark Stone, as he did suffer an injury and he seemed to go down awkwardly near the end of the first period, as he was a little bit in pain as he went down after taking a cross check from Chris Letang. And it wasn't that big of a cross check, it was a little awkward shove. And the video replay shows that. So Stone is not on the bench to begin the second period as we're underway. And it looked like enough to fully injure him. We have no power plays to speak of And Stone's status is unknown as this shot gets kicked away by Silovs from Brandon Saad. The Pens will reset. Loading up near side is Girard. Sam Girard flips it to the far corner. Picked up now by Riley Smith. It'll be sent over to Girard. On the hold as Vegas looking to tie this game up at 1. Knocked away, and this will be Keegan Colasar. Now loose in front. Here's Brandon Saad. Puck deflects away. And it's behind the net. Picked up by the Pens. Good saves from Silovs. And here are the Penguins again. Drop pass Malkin. Kerwin drag. Malkin chips it out towards the left point. Chainikov with some fancy moves. He'll drop back towards the point. Eric Carlson loads up. Glove saved by Aiden Hill. I thought that was Akira Schmid at first. That's actually Aiden Hill. Who is him getting the start, not Akira Schmid. So I've been saying this wrong the entire time. And Saad missed the net as he airmailed the shot. It looked like it was going to roll right towards the mesh. Off the face-off, it is the Golden Knights who'll carry this back into the zone. Braden Bowman carried this one through. Parker Wotherspoon there. The Pens will reset. Backhanded down. Shea Theodore restarting from his own end as the Knights make changes. Jack Eichel is out there. We have yet to see whether Mark Stone is going to return to this game. Left the game in the first period. Eichel flips his one around for the end boards. This goes towards the mesh. Here's to the camera back behind the net. The best win percentage after Christmas is owned by the Tampa Bay Lightning with 833. The Pittsburgh Penguins are not too far behind, 773. Then after that, it's a two-way tie between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Boston Bruins at 750. And the Penguins are quietly one of the best teams ever since Christmas. They led in 44% of their games, second highest in the NHL. Puck deflected deep. As Aiden Hill got this one away. Near side, this will be all the way down for an icing against the Golden Knights. Jack Eichel came over from the gold medal game and still keeping up with his elite play two-way. In 51 games so far this season, he is the team leader in points as one can expect. Off the face-off, it is the Pens holding the zone despite losing it. Shea slaps it down, but picking it up is Caden Korsak. A stick lift at the far corner. Brian Rust behind the crease. Flipped over to Raquel. Ricard Raquel from Sollentuna, Sweden. Pass missed for Shea. He goes down. And here's Braden Bowman matched up with Connor Clifton. And good job by Clifton to make sure that Bowman doesn't get a good shot off. Vegas missed the pass. It's held in by Hannafin, though, on the left point. Jack Eichel had trouble keeping it, and he does so as Bowman skates around. Flips his one towards the goal. In front. No room for a shot as the Pens were hounding the shooter at the slot. At the point now, it's Hannafin. One-timer! 94-mile-an-hour shot. That was turned away by Silovs. And this will be elevated all the way to the Vegas set. Hannafin resetting up for Riley Smith. Here is Jack Eichel coming back with the puck. And a shot for the left circle was stopped by Silovs on Pavel Dorofeev. It was extended zone time here for the Knights, as Arturs Silovs had to stop two good chances. One of them came from Pavel Dorofeev. On the 5-on-5 starting with Eichel, and it looked like there was a missed offside against the Golden Knights had Vegas scored. It would have been taken back. 7-7 the shots now, as this is a higher event start to this second period as opposed to the first period. Noel Chari up against Mitch Marner. Not usually deploys as center, but because of the injury to William Karlsson, he is going to be thrust into center duties. Achari gets called for a false start. Blake Wazat will come in. Off the draw, one by Marner. It is Theodore. Long shot Fired wide and it'll be held in by Lauzon. Lauzon around for the boards. This puck deflects towards the near half boards. Sent down over to Marner. Girard cut off the pass. Sent up for Letang. And here's Lazat. Right around through Lauzon. Lazat. Pass Lauzon and Theodore. Sent back from Dewar as a long shot from Girard. Loose to the crease. And this will be stopped by Hill both times. Connor Dewar tied up. Riley Smith there. And exiting are the Knights. Right around the near side, Dorofeyev sends it all the way to the trapezoid. Dorofeyev there to keep the momentum for the Knights. Not for long though, as the Pens will get this one to the neutral zone. Lazat almost mishandled the puck, and the Pens will go for a line change. Rasmus Andersson out of the ice right now with Noah Hannafin. Still no penalties in this game, a cleanly officiated game to speak of. And here's a trip. And speaking of penalties, there's our first one. Oh, why'd I have to ruin this with the announcer jinx? It's Mitch Marner. He caught Erik Karlsson with a skate. Stuck his leg out. And that is a clear as day penalty against the Golden Knights. As he stuck his leg out. Marner stuck his leg out right on Erik Karlsson. So the Penguins will go to the power play for the first time. They've had a resurgence on the man advantage. And their numbers have kept up throughout. First power play unit consisting of Malkin at the faceoff circle. Anthony Mantha there. Erik Karlsson is the power play quarterback. Those are three of the players. Colton Sissons wins the draw, but immediately there's a scrum here. It's picked up by the Pens. Hill is trying to clear it himself, and he does. Silovs will start the attack. It's Malkin, Mantha, Raquel, Rust, and Karlsson on the top power play unit. Karlsson will wait, and now he'll drop it back. Rickard Raquel leads the way, far side. It'll be moved over smoothly by Karlsson, and it dropped all the way back. Left side, out of Raquel's reach. Stick lift on Rust. Raquel there to retrieve. Karlsson, slap pass over to Malkin. One-timer, kicked away by Hill. McNabb couldn't clear it down. Ryan Rust is there. Hill dives on the left side, and he'll cover. Looked like he was going to get the 5-hole, but he took it away right on time. Top power play, top penalty kill unit. Now here comes the second penalty kill unit of Hurdle, Kolesar, Anderson, and Hannafin. Good position as Evgeny Malkin was all alone at the top of the right circle to fire the one-timer towards the net. Vegas trying to clear again, and they will. It just gets by for the stick of Brian Rust. Two lefties on this top power play unit. Evgeny Malkin and Anthony Mantha. The Pens have the third-ranked power play. The Knights have the 10th-ranked penalty kill. 26.1%, 80.1% respectively. Mantha wastes, fires it, and it's stopped by Hill. Mantha on speed from Malkin. All the way back for Karlsson as he walks the left point. Going right side for Rust. Rust waits, doesn't have a lane, so it'll go back to Karlsson, who will overskate the puck, and Vegas clears. Now here comes the second power play unit, led by Ben Kindle and Igor Chinikov. Tommy Novak out there as well. Mantha stays on. Off the skates of Novak, here is a puck battle that is won by Novak at that right point. Walking along is Letang. Over to his left side, it is Chinikov. Chinikov goes back for Letang. Justin Brazo, the fifth member of that power play, is right set up at the net front. In front! And Brazo gets shut down by Hill. Chinikov. From Letang and then back. Chinikov will look. Down low for Brazo. Right for the front of the net. This pass gets sent towards the right side. Letang mishandles the pass. Picks it back up. And he'll swoop it down low. Power play over. Out the box comes Marner. As Novak, he'll look. Towards the right side. I score! Igor Chinikov! Just as Marner came back onto the ice. Just seconds after the power play expired, it is 2-0. What a shot from Igor Chinikov. Igor Chinikov, rather. There's no Y on his first name, excuse me with that. It says fed down low for Brazo. Tommy Novak, just as Mitch Marner was coming out the box, finds Chinikov in the slightest space, open at the right circle. Gets the feed and sends one towards the top left corner as Jack Eichel couldn't get his stick down to slap that through. It's not like Eichel was playing bad defense. He was in the right place. But Chinakhov made the quicker reaction to shoot that. Shoot or shoot, they say. It's 2-0. Blake Wazat can't clear this one out as Vegas trying to hold it. Bouncing puck is picked up by Caden Korsak. Pittsburgh is all over this puck, and the play is whistled dead with 13:53 to go for just our second ice scrapage of this game. Ben Kindle scored first. Igor Chinakhov said, "I'll join on the party." And just seconds after the power play expired, it is Chinakhov from Novak and Brazo. Igor Chinakhov has been involved all over the ice in this game. He's been an everyday presence for the Pens ever since coming over to Blue Jackets. And he has had his confidence back up ever since the trade. And he's electric scoring goals. Puck deflected by Novak all the way down. It will be retrieved by Hill. Theodore's the first to it. The Golden Knights trying to clear, but a nice poke by Blake was out to hold it. It was actually Connor Dewar who was out there on the ice. This fourth line, the identity line out there. Dewar, Lazat, and Achari. That's Pittsburgh's fourth line, one of their most consistent. In front, the pass deflected away from Dewar by Theodore. The Golden Knights will move back. 3-on-3 as Marner looks to skate back. Pass all the way for Dorofeyev. And a shot blocked off the stick of Shea. Clifton can't get it out, but now he has some help with him as Pittsburgh's moving back. Tommy Novak, now he is out there on the ice, but he lost it. Trying to get the puck back is Connor Clifton there, so is Caden Korsak. Igor Chinakhov away from him as this puck lands onto the broken stick. There are two pieces of broken lumber out onto the ice. 7 shots on goal for the Golden Knights as here comes Chinakhov again. Drop pass for Malkin. Malkin fires. Glove save Hill. Picked up by Barbashev as the Knights looking clear but cannot. Another shot stopped by Hill and he'll hold this time. The chemistry is very solid between Chinakhov and Malkin. They know that the two of them are going to be with each other at the right places at the right time. Chinakhov, Novak, Malkin. It's been an electric line to watch. This top line of this trio. And it's not bad to have that followed up a second life. Avery Hayes, Ricard Raquel, Brian Rust. You don't know how that experiment of Raquel at center is going to last. Novak wins the faceoff. Control at the right point by the Pens. Malkin to Waterspoon. Pass across. Doesn't go for Eric Carlson as his pass back missed. Keegan Colasar sent it ahead. Parker Waterspoon races back to defend Brandon Saad. Tommy Novak goes back. With speed is Chinakhov. Racing back is Hanifin. Chinakhov around Hanifin. Good job by Hanifin to shut that chance down. Right behind the net, Novak gets sandwiched, but still has the puck. Kolesar there to shove away Chinakhov off the puck, and here's a 2-on-1. Saad goes in front, and a lot of room that quickly ran out for Tomas Hertl. Held at the left point, but that puck takes the bounce out. Racing back is Shea Theodore to be the first one to pick it up. The Penguins instead go for a change, and Theodore, a long stretch pass. This goes by Braden Bowman. Instead of an offensive chance, it's an icing. And the Knights, despite having the most talent on the team, they can't execute a clean play. As Hertl ran out of room, he tried to bank it in off the back of Silovs, but it wouldn't budge. So it bounced off the outside the cage. Hertl is just snake bit. He just can't buy a goal. Fourth line of Sisson, Saad, and Reinhart is out there. Off the face-off, that was lost by Raquel, but the Pens retrieved it anyway. 2 long shots go wide from the point. Picked up again, that's the centering pass. This one stopped by Hill on a low chance and try. Here's Sissons ahead, sticked away by Erik Karlsson as this goes behind the net for Girard. Rickard Raquel lifts it up. This is a bouncing puck on the far side and picked up by Letang. Letang drops back, nobody in the slot, and is intercepted by the Knights easily. Cleared out, and it'll be Sam Girard. He'll pick it up. Girard. Oh, here's a penalty. Oh, never mind. There's a fight here. Both Avery Hayes and Cole Reinhardt have accepted the fight. Here we go. They exchange rights here as Reinhardt has the size advantage over Avery Hayes. Not a lot of jazz being thrown now. And fans are booing as they want to see more her punches being thrown. The fight ends prematurely. Reinhardt at 6'1", 207. Hayes standing 5'10", 175. So Reinhardt has the size advantage. So this is afterwards as Reinhardt wanted to go with Hayes, and the two of them dropped the gloves. They allow fighting in hockey. That's the beauty of it. So it was because of the hit from Hayes on Colton Sissons, and Reinhardt took exception to it. It was a clean hit by Hayes, a good one, and Sissons had his head down. The Penguins get a power play out of this as Reinhardt gets a 2-minute instigator penalty. He gets a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, not an instigator penalty. So the power play comes to Pittsburgh after Cole Reinhardt gets a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Here's Karlsson, who set up in front. Settled down by the Pens on the near corner. Brian Rust got it out towards the right circle. Wants the tightest shoot. Anthony Mantha missed. Erik Karlsson keeps it in on the shot that went wide. Good thing, however, Evgeny Malkin lost it for the moment. He'll get this back towards the right point. Walking there is Karlsson. Flips it over to Malkin. Malkin wants to go back, and he does for Karlsson. Karlsson loads one up. Blocked. In front, score! Brian Rust! The puck came loose in the slot on the man advantage, and Pittsburgh goes up 3-0. His 20th of the season, and while they were not able to get the power play goal from Igor Chinakhov after that goal came seconds after that first power play expired, here the Pens do get on the board on the man advantage. It starts with an Erik Karlsson long shot, and Ross buries the rebound top shelf. It was blocked in the front of the crease by Jeremy Lauzon, and Russ was able to lift it right over the shoulders of Hill. And how they generate offense? And winning puck battles at the crease is how they get that up ahead. Vegas is in a tough predicament now, and it's realistic that in the least impressive division, that the best team in the Pacific Division, as there's an icing here, that the best team in the Pacific Division could end up being the Anaheim Ducks. 10-11 to go here in the second period. Seven consecutive seasons where Rust has scored at least 20 goals, and he's been a key staple of the Penguins for the past decade. Part of the 2016 and 2017 teams that won the Stanley Cup. Off the face-off, officially it's Rust from Carlson and Malkin on the power play. Parker Wotherspoon sends it around for Erik Karlsson. Karlsson will send it back. Wotherspoon came over the Boston Bruins. Here is Brandon Saad, opposite side onto the bench. Halfway through the second period. That's the first one back. It's Wotherspoon. Karlsson sells it down. Give it up. Here's North able to try. Silovs a save. Pittsburgh has almost doubled Vegas in shots, 15-9. Those power plays do help. And the Golden Knights, this is some bad hockey to play here in the second period again, as has been the case against the Capitals in their last game. Opposite side, tape to tape goes Wotherspoon. Here's this long shot that's wide. Shea Theodore will retrieve. Theodore up the near side, intended for Riley Smith. Instead gets by Smith, and it's an icing. Travels all the way down. This playoff push is intensifying. And later today is another crucial game. The Florida Panthers could play spoiler. You remember that. Even though they're 8 points out of a playoff spot, they can play spoiler. They travel to face the New York Islanders at UBS Arena. Pittsburgh slaps it all the way down. It'll be Braden McNabb, the first one to the puck. Here back next to Shea Theodore. They have commonly been there, and there's an injured Golden Knight. It's Colton Sissons, the fourth-line center and former Nashville Predator. Evgeny Malkin and Braden McNabb have wars with one another. And Sissons, he's hurt here. You remember, Mark Stone left the game earlier. His status is unknown for the rest of this game. So when we come back, it'll be the Penguins up 3-0 thanks to Igor Chinakhov and Brian Rust. Rust on the power play. Pittsburgh in control. Evgeny Malkin and Colton Sissons came together on a collision that had Sissons shaken up. And Sissons actually looking over his shoulder. A bad collision as Sissons is low. And Sissons actually was looking up. Malkin was coming over. And Sissons did brace himself for impact. He got a little Got a little bruise onto his cheek as a result. We saw exactly how this happened as we're back here at PPG Paints Arena. And he is still on the bench being taken care of by the medical staff as Tommy Novak, nice move. He tried to pass back, but that wouldn't budge. Here are the Knights back with Eichel. Going to Barbashev. Ivan Barbashev goes down, penalty coming up against the Penguins. We do have an update on Mark Stone. He left the game in the first period with an injury. He will not return for the remainder of the game. Chris Letang is the one being penalized here. So the Golden Knights will go to the first power play of this game. The announcement made by Dan O'Rourke, one of our two referees. This game alongside Kendrick Nicholson. Our linesmen are Andrew Smith and Matt McPherson. Tripping on Ivan Barbashev. It's Barbashev who drew the penalty. Letang to the box. We have our first look of the Knights' power play, led by Jack Eichel. It will be without Mark Stone for the remainder of this game. Eichel position on the right wing side. Face off won by the Pens. And they will clear this all the way down. It's Eichel, Hurdle, Bowman, Dorofeev, and Marner. It is a 5-forward power play. Mitch Marner leads the way. Out of Markham, Ontario. Eichel waits to Bowman. Centering pass towards the slot. Here's Marner, who is the power play quarterback. Back to Marner. Eichel at the left side. In the left circle, which is his office. Leads it for Marner. Now Eichel. Holding. Eichel. Waiting. Now dishes it down low for Bowman. Brandon Bowman decides to go back for Eichel. Eichel to Bowman again. Looks towards Hurdle's direction. He's all covered up. Eichel. Waiting again. Waiting. Going to Hurdle. Knocked away on the pass. Aiden Hill will reset. Vegas has the 5th-ranked power play. Pittsburgh the 2nd-ranked penalty kill. So it's superpower against superpower. The top power play is still out there for the Golden Knights. They'll reset again. Eichel moves it up. Will drop back for Bowman, who is stopped. Marner, all sorts of space on the left side. Hurdle fires! Shut down by Silovs. It'll be coming back to Marner at the right point. Marner controls. Marner waits. Blake Wazat's on him. High slot for Tomas Hurdle. Hurdle. Back over to Marner. Marner finds Eichel at the far side. 30 seconds to go on the power play. As Eichel goes back for Marner. Slap pass down low for Dorofeev. In front! Silovs to stop. Eichel will reset with the puck. Eichel lets one go. Silovs dives on it. And covers. 21 seconds left on the man advantage. Wotherspoon's doing a good job holding his own. Noah Hannafin is mic'd up for the Golden Knights. One of the two gold medal winning Olympians on the Golden Knights alongside Eichel. Both of them come from Massachusetts. Eichel from North Chelmsford. Hannafin from Boston. Their other Olympians, Mark Stone from Winnipeg. Mitch Marner from Markham, Ontario. Tomas Hurdle from Prague, Czechia. Off the face-off, it is the Golden Knights with it. Shea Theodore. And the pass back is knocked away by Achari. Foot race for the puck alongside Anderson. Achari knocks it to himself. Achari still with it. He loses it. But a good penalty killing sequence by the Penguins. 5 more seconds to go on this power play, which in all likelihood is going to be over. Since it's back on the ice, and the power play is over. One-timer from Anderson. Shut down by Silovs. 6:25 to go. And it's a pushing and shoving afterwards. Connor Clifton, Ivan Barbashev, both there. Ryan Shea as well. He gets tangled up in the mix with Colton Sissons. All 3 goals coming from the Penguins. As we're speaking of Olympians on the Golden Knights, we're also speaking of Rasmus Andersson from Malmö, Sweden. Dorofeev made the pass down low. And Eichel was not shooting it in the first side because there was traffic in front. And it was a juicy rebound for Braden Bowman. And Parker Wotherspoon was there to knock away Braden Bowman of the puck. And that's when pushing and shoving ensued between Wotherspoon and Bowman. 5-on-5 we go again. Vegas wins the faceoff one time from McNabb, and this is blocked right out of play. If we're talking about the list of Penguins from the Olympics, it was Sidney Crosby and Erik Karlsson and Rickard Rakell. Crosby from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, named to the Order of Canada. And Karlsson from Landsbro, Sweden. Rickard Rakell from Sollentuna, Sweden. Brandon Saad to take the faceoff against Ben Kindle, and Kindle wins it, the 18-year-old. Gerard slaps it near side, and this takes a bounce on that near side too. The Golden Knights will reset, and they have numbers coming back. Tomas Hertl. Forced back towards the right point, he'll send this one across. Long shot gets blocked in front, the Pens will go back with the puck. Pass towards the right side gets knocked away, the Knights will come back with it. To the offensive zone, drop back towards the left point. Kolesar, penalty here. Kolesar fought twice about coming out. It is too many men on the ice for the Golden Knights. So when we come back, the Penguins are going on the power play again. Pittsburgh already has a power play goal. They were close to having another earlier in the game. We'll see if they can make it two. Terminating on the ice against the Golden Knights. Keegan Kolesar was the late man on the ice. He hesitated to jump onto the ice. And Kolesar was going to go off the ice. But he jumped back onto the ice. So Vegas is going to go a man down again. It's going to be a big kill for Vegas here. A frustrating day for the Golden Knights, followed by that came after a frustrating night against Washington. Silovs fought about coming out to play it. He realized he's going to take it to wave game penalty himself if he comes out further. Malkin, Manfa, Rakell, Russ, and Karlsson again. That's what the first time around. This puck came loose. It'll be Evgeny Malkin. Almost gave it away, and the Golden Knights slap away at this puck. 1 for 2 on the man advantage are the Pens with 4 shots. The Golden Knights do clear this time, and Silovs will play this one in front. There are some waiver announcements. The Oilers have placed Andrew Mangiapane and Alec Regula on waivers. Here's Rickard Rakell of a wrister that was stopped by Hill. Evgeny Malkin on the keep right behind towards the plate. Malkin on the near half boards, near quarter, all the way back for Erik Karlsson. Karlsson long shot, rebound, score! Rickard Rakell this time. Erik Karlsson has 2 assists, both primaries. It is 4-0 Penguins. A smart play by Erik Karlsson to risk this one immediately. It was an intentional shot block as Karlsson directly fired it. It was a shot pass down low for Rakell. fired it wide intentionally to ensure that Raquel will have a better and cleaner look, and faked out Aiden Hill. That's a smart play by Carlson. And the Swedes have combined for a fourth Penguins goal. How sweet is that? Less than 5 minutes to go, 4 power play goals for the Pens in their last 3 games. Here's another chance from Novak. That gets sticked away. Jeremy Lauzon bringing this one back for Caden Korsak, and Saad lost the handle. As this is covered up by Silovs. As this was out of the reach. It's out of the reach of Brandon Saad. After a low event first period, the Penguins have firmly seized control of this game. The Golden Knights have had a habit of falling behind in games early, having to rely on the third period for comebacks. It's coming back to bite them. It's a 908th career point for Erik Karlsson that ties Scott Stevens for 13th all-time among NHL defensemen. And whenever you're mentioned in the conversation next to Scott Stevens, you know you're a part of NHL history. Penalty here against the Penguins. And the special teams are taking over this second period. It is tripping against Blake Wazat, so we'll see the Vegas power play again. It's Jack Eichel who drew the penalty as he gets sticked on the legs by Lazat. Eichel, a U.S. gold medal winning Olympian, looking to get the Golden Knights up and rolling here. The 5-a forward power play unit is out there again. Vegas wins this faceoff, brought back to Marner. Mitch Marner finding Jack Eichel immediately. Has all the space on the left circle. He shoots a long one, and that one blocked away. Connor Clifton gets this one out to the neutral zone, where it's held down by Eichel. Dorofeev waiting with the puck. Pavel Dorofeev cycles back to Jack Eichel. Eichel will leave behind for Braden Bowman. Bowman to Marner. Now back for Bowman. 2 Penguins on him. Eichel cycles it right around. Left side, one shove on Tomas Hertl, who's forced back. Dorofeev, Eichel on the far half boards. Here's Marner again. Marner's long shot deflected in front. Silovs there. And is scooped away. Muscled by Eichel on back. Hertl trying to pry this one for Marner. Tomas Hertl still can't get this one out. Braden Bowman's there as well. Ryan Shea and Connor Dewar tangling up Jack Eichel, and is poked free by Dewar. Eichel once again on it, and Eichel's pass missed. This will go all the way back, and the Penguins will change their penalty killing unit. Vegas will go to their second unit as a response, as Marner will go across. Knocked away once, and then split defense on back. Silovs save, and the rebound knocked away by Carlson. Another try gets blocked. That puck was rolling onto a yawning cage, and was knocked away on time by Erik Karlsson. Perhaps the biggest save of the game by the Penguins. Riley Smith goes back for Barbashev. Barbashev fires off the glass, and it goes towards the mesh. Still, they have 23 seconds to work with, but Riley Smith split the defense, and this puck trickled by Arturs Silovs. It looked to be rolling inside the net, but Erik Karlsson got back on time to knock the puck away. I don't know if that's Parker Wotherspoon, if it was Wotherspoon or Karlsson, but whatever way, the top pairing will take it nonetheless. Barbashev, Sissons, Smith, Anderson, and Theodore on the second power play. Sissons wins the draw. The face-off losses for the Penguins not being a factor. No one-timer from Sissons, or rather Anderson, as Anderson goes down low. Now goes back for Anderson as Theodore make the one-timer, and that pass back missed. Noah Chari will run out the rest of the clock on this power play, and the Penguins are 2 for 2 on the PK. It's a 1-up. That sound offside against the Golden Knights. Well, we're 9 days away from Mario Day. The 1-up sound around PPG Paints Arena. Oh, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is coming soon. I mean, Who else is thrilled about this? Everybody is. Gaming fans are. They await the arrival of Rosalina in the Mario Cinematic Universe. Tommy Novak and Tomas Hertl. Hertl wins the draw, but that isn't really saying much because the Penguins are up 4-0 thanks to 2 power play goals. One for Brian Rust and one for Rickard Rakell. Erik Karlsson providing the primary assist on both of those power play goals. 2 minutes left. Vegas down 4-0. And they're in a deeper hole than they were against Washington. Sam Girard retrieves. Will send it to Letang. The pass missed, but the Penguins are quick to the puck. Novak will send this back. The second line, this top line of Chinikov, Novak, and Malkin. Rolling all the wheels now. Down deep, it's Novak. Pass in front, that missed Chinikov. Brandon Saad on the retrieval. Saad hounded down by Malkin. The Golden Knights are skating with this. They'll move it to the side for Korsak. Caden Korsak. Slant towards the penalty box doors. Sent down deep as Silovs will hand it back for Letang. Chris Letang. Set down by Avery Hayes, who is back for the first time since the fight. Rickard Rakell sells it back to Chris Letang, who gave it away. Last minute of the second period. Cruise control for the Pens. And there'll be a lot more to talk about in the second period as we have some names, notable names, the trade board. Not only Vincent Trocheck. Brock Besser also part of the trade board as the Penguins are moving it up through the near side. Avery Hayes. We'll move it towards the far half boards. But that was the Golden Knights moving it. As Jack Eichel and Mitch Marner are both out to the ice right now. Marner tried the shot, but that was blocked. And the Penguins are moving back. Hayes. Avery Hayes shoved off. He sells it down. Moves it back to Shea. Ryan Shea moves ahead. Bouncing puck. Collected at the far side by Ben Kindle, who already has a goal in the first period. Anthony Mantha knocked off the puck. That allows Marner to pick it up. Gave it away. Here's Brazeau in front. Knocked away. Second effort. And that's cleared out by Vegas to end the second period. That was close to a 5th goal for the Pens. I have to take a replay of that. It's 4-0 Penguins after 40 minutes. An impressive middle 20 minutes for Pittsburgh. They have goals from Igor Chinikov, Brian Rust, and Rickard Rakell. Take a look at that last try. As Chinikov had the first of 3 goals. Erik Karlsson with long shots that led to goals from the slots. A great second period by the Pens. More on the trade deadline at the intermission. I'm Alec Nava. See you soon.
Something I can't hold on.
What a period for the Penguins. 4-0 after leading 1-0 after 1. Igor Chinakhov from Tommy Novak and Justin Brazo. The Ben Kindle goal officially as an assist. Anthony Mantha. Then it's Brian Rust on the power play from Eric Carlson and Evgeny Malkin. Ricard Raquel from Carlson and Russ to follow up. Raquel officially has 11 goals in the season. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava. After 2 periods, the Penguins are up 17-13 on the shots. Hits are 18-13 Vegas. Faceoffs won are 22-12 Vegas. And while the lack of faceoff wins have been hurting the Pens, it's not hurting them that much in this game. The Golden Knights are 0-2 on the power play. The Penguins 2-3 in that regard. Penalty minutes 11-9. Golden Knights, the block shots are 14-12 Penguins. Takeaways 3 each. And the giveaways 12-11 Penguins. For that matter. So as we go into the trade deadline for the trade board, ESPN has listed several players on specific tiers. And at the top tier is the shocking possibilities tier. And that list is Sergei Bobrovsky, Jordan Kyrou, Elias Pettersson, Morgan Riley, Robert Thomas, and should the Buffalo Sabres get into the bubble and being out of it, Alex Tuch, if they were to shop him for a better winger. The Panthers have an 18% chance of making the playoffs coming out the break. Much of that depends on if and when Alexander Barkov returns, if at all. And the 2-time defending champions can put together a run to make the playoffs where they'll remain inherently dangerous thanks to a deep roster and, of course, playoff Bob. But what if by the deadline they decide the math isn't mathing? Is it possible Bobrovsky becomes someone else's playoff hero? This is a situation worth watching because Bobrovsky is a pending free agent who is yet to receive an extension. He has 2 Vezina trophies and 2 Stanley Cup wins to his credit, making $10 million against the cap, but only $6 million actual dollars this season with trade protection. What do the Panthers do? A short-term contract to backstop a veteran team that's back to full strength next season would seem like one avenue. But they have Daniil Tarasov, who, for what it's worth, has outplayed Bobrovsky this season. It's something to watch. It's hard to gauge how deep Doug Armstrong is willing to cut into his roster during a disastrous season. Thomas's name is in circulation because other teams are hoping that he might become available. Would the Blues offer up Thomas, evaluates as trade protection for the kind of package that could launch a retool? His contract is an $8.125 million cap hit, but his annual salary declines or plateaus every season after this one. Kyrou would only be shocking because the window seems closed on when the Blues could deal the winger. His no trade clause start this season, and he remains in St. Louis despite some reports about his availability heading into last season's draft. He signed at $8.125 million annually through 2031. It would be shocking if the Canucks finally did trade Pettersson considering his contract and protection, as well as the fact that he may no longer be considered an offensive star in the NHL. Even after Vancouver removed the friction of the JT Miller situation, Pettersson still hasn't hit his marks. His past 2 seasons were his lowest in points per game for his career. Riley is one of several leads for trade protection, in this case a full no movement clause. He signed for 2030 at a $7.5 million cap hit. 31 points in 54 games, getting 21.34 ice time per game. Could the Leafs decide to reshape their blue line by convincing the 13-year veteran it's time to move on, as another member of the Core 4 leaves Toronto? Keith Pelly told season ticket holders on Wednesday letter, "We will do whatever is needed for the team to make the next step." And then there's Alex Tuch. The Sabres are in a playoff spot. He has 22 goals and 26 assists in 56 games, playing in every situation is a catalyst. It's hard to imagine Buffalo trained that type of player while seeking their first playoff berth since 2011. But Tuch and the Sabres have been talking contract for a long time. They have no long-term extension to show for it. First with Kevin Adams, now with Jarmo Kekalainen. Even without the extension, one assumes the Sabres would be comfortable keeping Tuch for the deadline with the playoffs in reach. But Kekalainen has always been a pragmatist. So, elite pending free agents, including Jordan Eberle, Patrick Laine, Evander Kane, Nick Schmaltz, and Jaden Schwartz. Kane's going to get traded, and the Canucks are going to gobble up a chunk of his $5.125 million cap hit to make it happen. He has a 16-team no-trade list, but the only requirement for Kane to agree to move to a 6 NHL franchise is that it's a playoff team. The Stars have been a frequently mentioned fit, but don't discount a move back to the East for him either. The Kraken's playoff bubble is starting to burst. A 41.2% chance of making a cut in the latest bubble watch, buoyed by Money Puck's outlier of a 16.4% probability. So then what happens to the UFAs, as Jason Botterill attempts to put a stamp on the team? Eberle and Schwartz seen trying to move to contenders seeking scoring help on the wing. Eberle is the team captain and leading scorer for 54 games, 20 goals, and 38 points. Schmaltz is a funny one. He has endeared himself to Mammoth fans as playing a huge role in their push for a playoff seed of 53 points in 57 games. Centering star Clayton Keller, but he's in line for a significant raise for a $5.85 million cap hit, and talks haven't been exactly sunshine and roses in the past. Schmaltz and the Mammoth have discussed potential trade destinations where he'd be willing to sign an extension, and given Utah's playoff potential, it likely only makes sense to deal Schmaltz in a hockey trade for a significant roster upgrade. Lastly, there's Laine. What's his value? He is limited to 5 games this season because of injury after a nice comeback last season in Montreal. 20 goals in 52 games. The Habs would obviously like to pick up a part of his $8.7 million cap hit to facilitate a trade. He's nearing a return for the IR, but is there someone who believes in a potential return to form enough to overlook his inability to remain in the lineup? Next, he goes to the elite forwards with term tier. Blake Coleman, Jake DeBrusk, Connor Garwin, Nazem Kadri, Donovan Marchessault, Ryan O'Reilly, Braden Shen, Steven Stamkos, Ryan Strome, Owen Tippett, and Vinny Trocheck. Trocheck wasn't in the last trade board because the Rangers were still feigning to be a contender. Now they're in a retool again, so it's hard to imagine they won't move him for the benefit of both parties. He's as versatile as players as you can find. Someone who can average 3/4 of a point per game in the last 2 seasons, but also be key defensively, a role he served well in helping the United States win gold. Speaking of which, more than a few observers around the NHL believe Trocheck will end up with the Wild, a team with a need in the middle and a general manager Bill Guerin who built the aforementioned Team USA. Trocheck has a 12-team no-trade list. The biggest name is Steven Stamkos, who started the season horrifically with 1 goal in 14 games, and then caught fire as the Predators started moving up the standings. He had 16 points in 13 games leading up to the Olympic break, and has 28 goals of the season, proving his worth both to Nashville and the rest of the league. Complicating things is his contract, $8 million annually through 28. The Predators have 2 other big names in the middle. Marchessault has a full no-movement clause and makes $5.5 million against the cap annually through 2029. He has 17 points in 38 games and has skated to a -18 in 38 games. His defensive game is deteriorated in Nashville, but he can add some offensive pop to a contender. O'Reilly, Nashville's other Conn Smythe winner, has a friendly cap hit, $4.5 million on a contract with 2 years left. While the 2019 Cup winner doesn't have trade protection, Barry Trotz will work with O'Reilly on finding a preferred destination. O'Reilly has 20 goals and 36 points in 57 games, winning 55.3% of his faceoffs, on par with his career mark. He's 35, but could be a final puzzle piece guy for the right contender. Kadri is another last piece guy, is a second-line two-way center with snarl, which is what he provided with the Avalanche in winning the Stanley Cup in 2022. He makes $7 million against the cap annually for 2029, has a 13-team no-trade list, but didn't exactly shoot down reports that he will be open to working with the Flames to facilitate a swap. Calgary loves what Kadri brings to the team, but the time might have come to maximize his return. Complicating things is that the Flames have only 1 slot to retain salary after keeping a percentage of the Rasmus Anderson and Jacob Markstrom trades. If they used that for Kadri, they couldn't use it on Coleman. The 34-year-old has 2 years left at a $40.9 million annual contract and a 10-team no-trade clause. He has 13 goals in 44 games and can help kill penalties, having won 2 cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Shen has a 15-team no-trade clause, making $6.5 million against the cap annually for 28. He's been in St. Louis for 9 seasons, has 24 points in 57 games, to a ghastly -25. That said, he's a coveted player around the league for his leadership, toughness, and offensive upside. Assuming the Blues are in seller mode, which they will, he'll have plenty of attention. The Blues could get a hefty return for him. Depending on how deep the train goes in Vancouver, Garwin and DeBrusk could be part of it. Garwin hasn't even started the 6-year, $36 million deal he signed in July. He has 25 points in 46 games for Vancouver. DeBrusk has a no-move clause and 5 more years on his contract at $5.5 million. He's not having the best offensive season he had last season, 20 goals. But he's a solid winger that can slide into the team's middle 6. Is Tippett's name out there just noise or something more palpable? His trade protection kicks in next season. He makes $6.2 million against the cap annually for 2032. He has 3 straight 20-plus goal seasons and has 19 goals in 56 games this season. Everything we've heard is that the Flyers might move him in the right hockey trade to help the club. Whenever a veteran's ice time dramatically falls, one assumes the trade can't be too far off. Strome has another year left. Strome has another year left on his $5 million deal. Averaged 16.41 last season, is down to 12.05 this season. 8 points in 32 games. Among the elite defensemen with term tier, Justin Falk, Dougie Hamilton, Rasmus Ristolainen, Mackenzie Weegar, and Tyler Myers. 25 and under tier, Brad Lambert, Alexei Lafreniere, Mason Lohrei, Pavel Minchikov, Brennan Oppmann, Nick Robertson, Braden Schneider, Jesper Wallstedt, and Shane Wright. In the goalie tier, Jordan Binnington, Michael DiPietro, Elvis Merzlikins, Sam Montembeault, Alex Nedeljkovic, and Stuart Skinner. Help up front tier includes Michael Bunting, Paul Cotter, Jason Dickinson, Warren Fogle, Ryan Hartman, Eric Holla, Kalle Jarnkrok, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Andrew Mangiapane, Matthias Michelli, Ilya Mikheyev, Gustav Nyquist, Evan Rodriguez, Igor Sharangovich, and Eli Tolvin. The final tier, being the help of the blue line tier, Brandon Carlo, Ian Cole, Mario Ferraro, John Klingberg, Timothy Liljegren, Connor Murphy, Jamie Oleksiak, Luke Shen, Brady Shane, and Zach Whitecloud. In the bargain beauty contracts tier, this is the last tier. Simon Benoit, Teddy Bluger, Eric Gustafson, David Camp, Scott Lawton, Ryan Lomberg, Bobby McMahon, Lucas Reichel, Logan Stanley, Kevin Stanley, and Oscar Sundquist. So those are the tiers for the trade deadline from ESPN. When we come back, it's the third period. I'm Alec Nava. We'll see you soon. In the Steel City, we have a look over at the North Shore, where this year's NFL draft is going to be at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right around Acrisure Stadium, previously known as Heinz Field. And North Shore also included here's PNC Park. In the third period, the Penguins have 10 blown leads, tops in the league, and the Golden Knights have a plus 34 goal differential and 9 comebacks, first in the NHL. The Golden Knights are putting themselves in a position where they make a lot of comebacks. However, this is a deep hole for them. Penguins have one blown lead of 4 goals the seasons were underway. That came against the San Jose Sharks, a blown 5-1 lead and losing 6-5 in overtime. Vegas has been outscored 9-1 in the first 2 periods. Since returning from the Olympic break, outscored 9-1 the first two periods since returning for the Olympic break, which is not ideal from them, especially knowing that they have Stanley Cup aspirations entering the season. They haven't been playing like it. Missed pass from Letang to Girard, and Girard will have to reset all the way back, being chased by Brandon Saad. Girard backhands it away from danger. And the Penguins will have all the space to roam, moving up on the zone. Evgeny Malkin up front to the swat, sticked away by Anderson. It will be sent around all the way back for Letang. Letang's shot, gloved down by Hill. He falls onto it right in front of his crease to cover it up. 41 seconds into this third period. Only one team has blown two separate 4-goal leads this season. That's the St. Louis Blues, losing both games. It's 4-0 Penguins. And blown 4-goal leads are not something that any team would want to see. Rickard Rakell and Jack Eichel on the faceoff circle. Evgeny Malkin is listed as a center, but he's not playing center in this game. Tommy Novak is the center on his line. Rakell playing center because of the injury to Sidney Crosby. Rust and Hayes on the wings on Rakell's line, and is Eichel winning the faceoff. 18-13, the Penguins outshooting the Golden Knights. Back deep is Wotherspoon, retrieved by Rakell at the far corner. For the far half boards, falling down is one of the Knights, but is held in. Long shot saved by Silovs, and a rebound picked up at the right circle by the Penguins. Rakell races up ahead. Shea Theodore gets it away. Backhanded deep onto the right point. Pass across all the way to Barbashev, who holds. A one-timer from Theodore, and that smoked away. Behind the net, McNabb. Picked up now by Rakell, but is held in by Barbashev at the left point. Give and go over to Eichel. Now back for Barbashev. Barbashev bumped by Wotherspoon. Rakell comes over to poke it away from Eichel. Erik Karlsson now. Karlsson handling this at the far corner. Over to his partner Wotherspoon. That goes by. Tipped it down the ice, and it's Avery Hayes swinging a miss on his shot. Shea Theodore will take over on the puck. Both teams are changing their lines to get fresh bodies on the ice. Theodore holds. Now moves up ahead. A bump on that far side, or rather near side on Riley Smith. That jostles him off the puck. Ryan Shea moves up far corner. Connor Dewar there, the fourth line out there for the Pens. Dewar, Lazat, and Achari. Pass back deep for Jeremy Lazat. He broke his stick on the shot. The puck comes free, and the rebound could not be played home. Lazat is to get a new stick. Caden Korczak holds his own. Here's a drop pass over towards the right side with Lazat, who has a new stick. Lazat on Ryan Shea. Marner holds it, far corner. Stick handles through. Marner could have bounced it by through several Penguins. It's taken away and cleared down. Caden Korczak takes it back up. Korczak. Penguins on a change, but they take it back, and Vegas will change their lines too. Here is Noah Hannafin. Moving up to Cole Reinhardt. Brandon Bowman's out there. In the place of Mark Stone, who left the game in the first period. Ben Kindle can't get by Bowman. All the way back onto the defensive end. This pass picked off, and here they come, the Penguins. Ben Kindle trying to go back, but cannot. Instead, he'll send this towards the far corner. Kendall's pass gets canceled out, and the Golden Knights will retrieve. Puck sticked away at the logo, and here is Anthony Mantha. Let the puck, he'll send it to Kindle. Letang looking to drop it for Kindle, and does. The shot went off a stick and out of play. Coming over 3:19 into the third period. This is the push for the playoffs. And we're 1.5 months for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tommy Novak and his line back out to the ice. Him, Chinikov, and Malkin. This Penguins team is tough. And you cannot count them out at any point of any game. Face-off won by the Golden Knights. And their face-off wins continue to pile up. Vegas moves it up through the middle, and this takes a bounce behind Silovs. Picked up by the Pens as this bounces on several times. Up the far side, comes Pittsburgh again. knocked away, and the Golden Knights will go back on the offensive side. Sent back, and it'll be Tomas Hertl around Tommy Novak. Hertl cuts it towards the net. Knocked away by Silovs. Wotherspoon can't play this one out. It is kept in on the keep. Nobody home in the slot. McNabb on the hold. Carlson is all tangled up by Hertl. Hertl pries it free. The pass is broken up by Evgeny Malkin. It will go back towards the Vegas end. Shea Theodore moves it up for Braden Bowman. Bowman at the near side. Connor Clifton got it free from him. Clifton moves it up through the middle. It's fired down the ice by Ricard Raquel. McNabb, the first one there, beating out Avery Hayes. And McNabb's going to ice it. Now, Vegas is playing the clock game. They know that they're down 4-0. Pittsburgh is playing defense here, shutting down the Golden Knights. Good and physical hockey is Igor Chinikov, showing the speed and skill that he has showcased throughout his career. The former first-round pick with the Columbus Blue Jackets, finding himself new life at the Steel City. And some excellent reads by Malkin, who's on a 10-game home point streak, 2 goals and 10 assists. He has an assist today. Face-off is won by the Golden Knights. They'll scoop it up. Braden Bowman down the ice, and the Pens will restart. McNabb from his own end. High puck grabbed by Jack Eichel. Eichel centers it up, and walking through is Bowman. Good recovery by Hayes. The Golden Knights with the keep to counter. Braden McNabb goes down low, centering pass knocked away, and this will go all the way to center ice. Evgeny Malkin has not slowed down a bit this season. 39 years old, and contract negotiations between him and Kyle Dubas being uncertain. Malkin wants to stay one more year in Pittsburgh, but no contract negotiations have transpired. The Pens move it down deep, and this will be a penalty against the Golden Knights. Riley Smith to the box. One-time Penguin. Was traded over to the New York Rangers for 2 picks, then flipped back to the Golden Knights. A place where he calls home. The Penguins are going back to the power play. This is going to be a tripping penalty against Smith as he knocked down Blake Lizotte on the skates. Lizotte, the former Los Angeles King, centering the 4th line. He's been excellent in that regard. Vegas can't clear on this first knockaway. Actually, they do. This will be all the way to the pen zone as Ricard Raquel, or rather Erik Karlsson, will get set. Moved up to Brian Rust. All sorts of space. Rust fires wide intentionally, looking for an open forward. That is Ricard Raquel, who gets it to him. Now here is Erik Karlsson, who walks the point. Karlsson's long shot, looking for his 3rd point. Can't get this one home. Malkin keeps. It'll be McNabb. Looking to clear it down. Cannot do so. It's held inside by the Penguins. Here's Karlsson again. Here's the feed. Saved by Hill. And it'll be the Golden Knights who will fire this down the distance. Arturs Silovs will slow this puck down on this feed for Chris Letang wearing the A. The second unit comes out for both sides. The Penguins have scored twice on the man advantage today. They're 2 for 3 so far. And here's Mitch Marner to knock the Penguins off the puck. And onside are the Knights. They're killing off some more clock here. Winning the time off the power play clock. The Penguins will restart. And they're going deep with this. Tommy Novak twists and turns. He'll go back and retrieve this puck. It's Jack Eichel's on him. He'll feed behind for Letang. Letang dumps it from the red line and fires in. Ben Kindle around. On the return feed for Chinikov. Igor Chinikov can't get the pass through. No, ahead of it, knocked away. The Pens keep from the far corner. Centering pass for Kendall. And a save by Hill. Good position for Hill to be at to shut that down as Kendall's looking for a second goal of the game. Wide open space. Good keep by Chinikov. As it goes to the feet down low for Tommy Novak. Excellent tape-to-tape passing between these 3. Good replays as well. Shots are 20-14. Penguins. The 15 goals by Ben Kendall are fourth among NHL rookies this season. Raquel on the tie-up. He wins the face-off, but Vegas gets it out. 10 seconds left on the Riley Smith penalty. It is picked back up by Brian Rust. Still feed around. Erik Karlsson denies Tomas Hertl a chance. And the power play ends. Smith is back on the ice. The Penguins didn't need to score that much. Malkin galloping around, but can't get much out of that. Ryan Rust retrieves. He'll head to the bench for a line change. Karlsson's back. He's on the ice joined by Parker Wotherspoon. What a nifty move by Blake Wazat on the fourth line side. Even fourth liners can make delicious dangles. Here's Mitch Marner moving up the near side. Nearly 8 minutes gone this third period. It's 4-zip Penguins. Shea Theodore long shot, glove down by Silovs. And he will stop here for an ice scrapage. Pittsburgh 4, Vegas nothing. That's our scoreline here. It's all Penguins in this game, and we will return in a moment. It's the first ever Mr. Rogers Neighborhood Day in Pittsburgh for the Penguins. So all the players pay tribute to Mr. Fred Rogers. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Oh, for sure it is. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. And of course, a beautiful day in the neighborhood in Pittsburgh. Chance in front, and Silovs dives in front for two tremendous stops. Shea Theodore retrieves it. Sharp angle shot doesn't go through. And the Penguins will go all the way back. 3-on-2, developing if they hurry up. Theodore hounding Lazat from behind. Plows him down. Achari on the keep. Couldn't find Dewar as this puck went off his skate. The Golden Knights will come back. Several stick tangle-ups lead this puck to going to the Penguins. Back goes Achari. He'll dump it down. Rasmus Andersson will be the first to retrieve. Noah Hannafin will move back. Pavel Dorfeev back for Hannafin. Hannafin waits patiently with this and will move in front for Cole Reinhardt. Reinhardt will send this down the ice. Ryan Shea to retrieve. Part of the third pairing began the season on the second pairing next to Chris Letang. He's emerged into a shutdown role with the Pens. He's the team leader in plus minus this season, Ryan Shea, at plus 23. Hard as it is to believe. Avery Rogers. It's a 1-0 lead by the Penguins at first. Before a pair of power play goes into the second period, that sprung the Pens out to a 4-0 lead. It would have been 3 had it not been for the expiration of the penalty to Mitch Marner for the Igor Chinakhov goal. Keegan Kolesar with the puck. Knocked away by Letang. And Fred Rogers. Who can forget about him? The colorful TV personality in Pittsburgh. is the creator, showrunner, and host of the television series Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He means a lot to this city. Sam Girard can't get this free, but he is helped out with Evgeny Malkin. Here's a 2-on-1. Has Cheetikov with him. Malkin knocked away on time. I believe that was Shea Theodore, held in by Letang. The old guard showing up to play here for the Pens. Letang to Malkin. He goes back up top. Girard, Letang, one-timer, knocked away by Hill. Nice chemistry between Sam Girard and Chris Letang. And Mr. Rogers, working children's television, widely praised with more than 40 honorary degrees and several awards. Up through is Barbashev. The Penguins tried to clear. And defensively, the Penguins stood tall. Much improved defensive hockey from Dan Muse for the Pens. And here is Ben Kindle moving back. Stick lifted at the line by Jack Eichel. Caden Korczak tried to move it through, but Ben Kindle was there. Pass back for Wotherspoon. He had to evade two Knights. And he had to give the puck up. Eichel moves. Off for the middle. He'll drop it. Not much space there. Behind the net, here comes Erik Karlsson again. Through the middle, Kindle. On the far side, pass all the way. Doesn't make it to Achari. Erik Karlsson with 2 assists, both primary assists, and on the power play nonetheless. The Golden Knights are able to clear it out. Parker Wotherspoon to Erik Karlsson again. And imagine that this pairing is going to get a line change soon enough. The Golden Knights just don't have anything in this game. Rasmus Andersson backhands around for Pavel Dorofeev, but could not get anything out of that. Knocked away, it comes to the slot. Well defended by the Penguins in front. The Knights are forced to pass it back to the point. We'll have Noah Hannafin there. Cole Reinhardt can't stuff it. Held inside. Puck comes to Anderson who waits. Now fires it. Kick save. Rebound swept wide. And Pittsburgh clears it to the neutral zone where Achari will settle it down. Anderson skating back with Hannafin. Who'll scoop it up. Hannafin moves in front. And on the move now at the near side is Mitch Marner. He'll away at the near half boards. Marner goes down low. Riley Smith had trouble with this puck. Vegas holds it. Along the point is Marner. For Braden McNabb. From that near corner, he'll shoot around. Ryan Shea is there, but so was, can't get a number on it, that is Pavel Dorofeev. Scooped up by the Penguins, and it's onto the benches. With 7:20 to go, it looked like Darren Pang. Darren Pang caught that puck. He wants to make a friend with the kid up front, and so he tosses the puck to him. 4-0 Penguins.
The sky, 'cause we're gonna light up the sky, 'cause we're gonna light up the sky, 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 the sky. Stop.
Fred Rogers among a list of Pennsylvania state historical markers. First placed by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in 1914, overseen by the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission, part of its Historical Markers Program. Or the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2002 for his work on children's television. Of course, inspire kindness to everyone. Ryan Shea, Brian Rust, and Connor Clifton as the Pens are looking to clear and run out the final 7 minutes of this game. The Golden Knights without Mark Stone for the remainder of this game as his shot was deflected up front by Bowman, and out-bustling Bowman was Connor Clifton. That far corner, looking to get it out, was Blake Wazat. Well, at the fourth line action for the Pens as this puck flutters in front. Avery Hayes on the way, and one-on-one here's Brandon Saad. Can't perform an inside-out move on Clifton. Excellent job by Clifton to stand his ground. Avery Hayes sandwiched by Jeremy Lauzon. Caden Korczak can't get it out as Evgeny Malkin was hustling through. From center point to Malkin at the right circle, Lauzon hustles to him to pin him towards the boards. That allows Hurdle to get the puck up the far side, and this will be bouncing on towards the far side, picked up by Hurdle. Tomas Hurdle rushed back, and stick lifting him was Chinnikov. Pass down low for it. Chinnikov knocked away off the stick of Hill, but it's kept in by Tommy Novak, and Evgeny Malkin took a big hit onto the ice. He gets back up onto his feet. He is shaking off the wooziness of that hit. He feels a little dizzy after taking that, so he has to head to the bench. He'll be checked up by the medical staff afterwards, but he just got the wind knocked out of him. No injury here for Malkin. We'll be looking through to monitor him. Letang to Mantha. Mantha able to get this further. The Golden Knights, 5:21 away from being shut out. Rasmus Anderson on the hold. Goes up for Smith. No return feed for him as Chris Letang was able to shut him off. Eichel. Jack Eichel gets knocked down by Letang. And a good little hit here to apply the pressure. Kendo to Brazo. Score! There's another one for where that came from. Justin Brazo. In the midst of a breakout year, Justin Brazo records his 16th goal of the season. That matches his jersey number. He previously was a bottom sixer between the Boston Bruins and the Minnesota Wild. And now he's emerged into a second line role with the Pittsburgh Penguins. An unexpected role, and which is emerged into. And he's been excellent playing on the second line. Whether it be next to Evgeny Malkin. And he is adding to his career high in goals and points. What a season he's been having. Here come the Penguins again. Noah Chari. He is sticked away. Penguins are looking to cap off the touchdown run. Parker Wotherspoon will move it up. And it's knocked back off to Connor Dewar. 5-0. Every game that I covered in the NHL this season has been a blowout, as opposed to the close games that I've covered in the NFL. Now out in front, let's take the bounce. Arturs Silovs all over it. Officially, it's Brazo from Ben Kindle and Chris Letang. With 4:20 to go, the Penguins are smoking the Golden Knights. It was Tomas Hurdle who laid out Evgeny Malkin and knocked the wind out of him. But Justin Brazo made the Knights pay by lighting the lamp. Final 4:20 when we come back.
Till the
What's going on, Ian?
Hey man, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were doing anything today. Yeah. What joined you?
Well, this was supposed to be the backup plan. The original plan, and before yesterday, was the Hurricanes and Red Wings. But this is the backup after we decided to do an episode of Four Squares. We chose to record the most recent episode of Four Square Sports yesterday. The latest episode is out, episode 36, in which we recap the gold medal game, plus a lot more. College basketball, March Madness is coming soon. But I'll have to say, 5-0 Penguins. Just to summarize this game up, Ian, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yes, quite. And with the fact that you're putting one on Vegas without Crosby, not the prediction I had at the beginning, but why does this Penguins team smell of sleeper cup contender right now?
Oh, well, we don't know just yet. I feel we could see a second round Carolina-Pittsburgh meeting in the works. And yes, I said beautiful day in the neighborhood because it is Fred Rogers Day in Pittsburgh and for this game.
Excellent. A man whom this country, a type of man this country needs right now and at all times, but especially right now. Oh, I wish he was still around.
Yeah, in a world that's full of negative people, we need more people like Fred Rogers around.
Yeah, because of Tree's video and the broadcast we did 2 weeks ago, I am going to pick up NASCAR. Gonna try and pick up NASCAR for a full season.
Oh yeah, what if USA Germany? So far, 2 wins, 2 races, 2 wins for Tyler Reddick, and he is the pole sitter for this week's race at COTA, Circuit of the Americas. But keep an eye out for Shane Van Gisbergen, who has won 5 road course races last season.
Has there ever been a driver to win the first 3 races of a season in NASCAR?
No, but we came close last year. Christopher Bell won the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th races last year in NASCAR. We were close.
God, imagine if the whole season goes by and it's a Michael Jordan driver in first place every single time. I think the sport of NASCAR will melt down. It's like, really? Michael Jordan already owns basketball. Why does he have NASCAR now?
Well, he is passionate about NASCAR. It's one of his interests growing up in North Carolina. He's from Wilmington. He got to meet Richard Petty in 1982 before he rose to stardom in the NBA.
Oh, Richard, see, again, I don't know anything about NASCAR, but I've heard the name Richard Petty, so I'm guessing this is NASCAR royalty. Yes,
NASCAR royalty. And 1982, that was when Jordan was at the University of North Carolina with a college teammate turned NASCAR owner, Brad Daugherty.
Wow. So that's cool. So yeah, I'm gonna be watching this, to be honest. Even though it's impossible. I'm kind of hoping for that NASCAR follows the other sports, like football, hockey, basketball, and it's just a completely unusual ride. I'm also delusionally hoping that Tyler Reddick just goes scorched earth and wins every race.
That would literally be an impossible task, but we've seen crazier things happen. But
Yeah.
we'll have to say that his two teammates, Bubba Wallace and Riley Herbst, he has some help with him.
Yeah. Man. So, it says trade deadline season. I know about the Brett Kulak trade. Haven't seen much else. Do you think anything big's gonna happen?
I've heard Vincent Trocheck's name get thrown out there, and for good reason, because he has term. The Rangers are on a rebuild. They just traded away Artemi Panarin. So Trocheck's likely destination is Minnesota, but don't count out Colorado from consideration if they were to mix and match the lines, if they were to put Trocheck on the third line, if they were to sit him over there. But Minnesota seems like the ideal fit. They need a center.
I'd agree. I'm hoping the Blues trade away one of their guys. The season's lost, and they need to officially start over.
I'll have to say, Robert Thomas, I heard his name being thrown out there in trade rumors, and same thing with Braden Shen and Jordan Kyrou.
The thing is, though, Shen still has that no trade clause, and you know, if he doesn't waive it, they can't trade him. You know, surprisingly, you know who has a little bit of trade value? Justin Falk, if you can believe it.
Was just about to bring him up. Yeah, Justin Falk does have trade value. So this season for Falk, he's raised his trade value, in which it looked like he was not going to have any from him. So,
Yeah.
all right, so we're in the last minute of play. So I'm looking around for other players that could be dealt in the trade deadline. I know it's not. And Brock Besser said it's not a trade deadline without my name being thrown into the rumors. Well, Vancouver is at the bottom of the barrel, quite literally.
Yeah, but who can they trade? I mean, who else can they trade? They signed everyone back.
Evander Kane. Well, of course, the only condition for Kane is that he goes to a playoff contender. But the other side of the double-edged sword with Kane is that you have to deal with his locker room cancer antics.
If you get anything, enjoy the conditional 6th-round pick that you're going to get.
Yeah, so his trade value is so low, and Edmonton showed that when they traded him for just a 4th-round pick, and it's somehow a win for the Oilers. But at this point, oh my goodness, what a hit. The crowd is on their feet as the Penguins celebrate a shutout victory. It is a beautiful day for a shutout win. A beautiful day in the hockey neighborhood.
Yep. So, is there any update on when Crosby could come back?
End of the month.
End of the month. And the Penguins have been doing okay in his absence?
Yes. We split the two games at the New York metro area, the two previous ones, 4-1 over the Devils, and a shootout loss to the Rangers. I was surprised by those face-off numbers. How is it possible we only win 6 face-offs against the Rangers? But nonetheless, this is a better showing and a much better one. Power play has been on point, defense has been on point, and Arturs Silovs, oh my.
Hang on. Did you just say Arturs Silovs?
Yes.
Of postseason Vancouver fame, Arturs Silovs.
Yeah, postseason hero Arturs Silovs.
Okay. Sure.
I mean, it's not like Vancouver is just reaping what they sow.
Yeah, it's just Silovs. I mean, I thought the guy had one good postseason, went on a milk carton since then, and now he's popped back up in Pittsburgh, and he's a quality starting goaltender. Sure. Yeah.
The defense has been good, which helps out with Waterspoon, Shea, Carlson, Letang, and Connor Clifton. Okay, then. All right. I'll take that as we will. But the fact that we got Gerard and his second back for Kulak, that's a huge win for Dubas.
I would actually... Okay, how did he swing that with the Avalanche?
Oh, I had to say, do you want a defensive defenseman for your playoff run, Colorado? Sure, we'll give you Kulak. Okay, we just want to have Gerard back in a second round pick. Thing is, though, Gerard, he's a good defenseman, but he's fallen out of favor on the lineup for Sam Malinsky in Colorado's lineup. Plus with reliable defensive defensemen like Josh Manson, and we can put him, and because he's an all situations defenseman, Cale Makar, still reliable as ever. And Makar is more than just reliable. He's the best. He's the standard at defenseman. But Colorado, they are in the thick of a logjam at defense. So they have to, and Gerard is finding himself as the odd man out. Pittsburgh is prioritizing speed and skill. Kulak fits more to the mold of shutdown defenseman. So here's a win. Here's Kulak onto the Avs Stanley Cup ambitions.
Yeah. Although, okay, is Buffalo legit? Are we ready? I think we've been ready to say it, but are we truly ready to pull the trigger and say they're making it to the playoffs?
You know what? I'm going to say the answer is a resounding yes. Buffalo this year is legit.
Yeah. Just, you know what it reminds me of? But hopefully they stick around longer than it. Remember 2020 to 2021, the Montreal Canadiens just put everything together. It was like Mark Bergevin had finally pulled his ultimate Bergevin and everything just gelled. That's what I'm feeling like with this team. They got Tage Thompson, who I will sing it, I will shout it to the sky. That man is an MVP candidate.
Oh, man. I'll never forget when he scored that overtime winner in the World Championships for USA. And he is the truth in Buffalo. He and Rasmus Dahlin are clearly the leaders of that group. It looked like it was going to be another lost season. No, things are much stranger than fiction. But Tage Thompson is the truth.
Which begs the question. So, was the guy's name Kevin Samuelson? Was that the last GM of Buffalo?
Kevin Adams.
Kevin Adams, thank you.
Before he got fired for Yarmo.
Right. So, okay, Kevin Adams assembled this team. He got all this talent together. So, the question I have is, just how bad was this man's personality that it extended past the coaches to the players? Because as soon as Kevin Adams got canned, you see an immediate turnaround.
Oh, that we'd wonder too, Ian, about how bad as things have gotten in the front office is with Buffalo, and immediately we heard of coaching turnarounds. We've never heard of a GM turnaround like the way Buffalo just did. And if you think of Tage Thompson, Rasmus Dahlin, Alex Tuck, and Ryan McLeod, thanks, Edmonton.
Who did they trade? Or did they even trade McLeod to them, or did the Oilers just cut him?
The Oilers traded him for Matt Savoie.
Is that guy doing anything for the Oilers this year?
Survey says as we take a look at the Oilers. Oh my goodness! I texted you that the Oilers look like the Cincinnati Bengals of the NHL, and I have to back that up because you have McDavid, Draisaitl, and Bouchard doing a carry job of carry jobs this season. They're going back to how they were before Jay Woodcroft got hired, and I'm not even joking.
I would challenge you. I will take your Cincinnati Bengals claim and point you to my reply saying they are the Buffalo Bills of the NHL.
I'll have to say, well, are you talking to Josh Allen Bills or are you talking to Jim Kelly Bills?
More so Jim Kelly.
That's valid.
More so Jim Kelly. No,
Yeah.
if I had, actually, I don't think there is an NHL team right now, or there is an NHL team that can be compared to this current iteration of the Buffalo Bills.
But, man, it would be heartbreaking if the Oilers make it to the finals this year and next and lose to an Atlantic Division team, namely the Lightning.
I don't think they're getting back.
Me
I don't
neither.
No, and it's not just the Avalanche. They are so bad at goaltending. The Sharks could beat them. Despite the bludgeoning that just happened, the Golden Knights can beat them. The Wild could smoke them.
You know,
And
I'm going to go out on a limb. Oh, what's that?
And I will put the Stars can beat the Oilers right now. That's 5 out of 7 teams that they currently have to go through that can whoop them.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Oilers will lose to the Ducks in the playoffs.
Will that be in the wild card?
First round.
Wow.
Anaheim having home ice advantage, of course, by the way.
That is a bold take, my friend.
It's bold, but I'm confident.
And I can't argue that because if I'm McDavid, look, McDavid has not put on the appearance. He has shown himself to be very loyal to the city of Edmonton, but do not be surprised if they fall short again. Do not be surprised if he asks for a trade in the offseason.
I mean, his patience is wearing thin. And time is clearly running out. It's clear that this year was going to be a step back for them. And it's very obvious that I'll have to ask the Oilers this. Did you really have to hire Stan Bowman?
Yeah, and it's not even... And if we were just focusing on his hockey acumen without the black spotted history that will follow him for the rest of his career from the Blackhawks, if we just focus on his hockey acumen, this is the same man who had Artemi Panarin on the Blackhawks and somehow found a way to screw that up.
Traded him to Columbus to bring the gang back together because, oh my goodness, that's going to go so well. It doesn't. Then you trade for Trent Frederick on a freeway trade, gets injured, does nothing in the playoffs, extend him for 8 years, and he's playing like the worst forward in the entire NHL.
Yep, and let's also talk about the fact that they needed a goalie. were screaming to the heavens. Actually, no, we were yelling not yelling, but we were firmly saying they needed a forward or a center that they could pair on another line that would be a quality starter for them. And at the time, I said Ryan Donato. I know currently results are varying on that, but I don't put that much on him. I put that more on the fact that the Blackhawks are just dysfunctional again. They still haven't found a way to put it together. But they needed a guy like Ryan Donato, who they didn't get, and it turns out they could have gotten him for cheap. You know, $4 million a year for 4 years is not that much, even if you are strapped for cap.
No.
But Stuart Skinner, you still put your faith in him. It was obvious from the get-go. You started in the bottom of the West. You were terrible for the first 25 games of the season or something like that. And instead of trying for something, you said, you know what? We'll just let McDavid, Draisaitl, and the rest of this roster try and work magic again. Oh my Lord. I just realized this, Alec. We're right back to 2018 again. But instead of Drake bleeping Kajula and Anton Shlepyshev, you have Trent Frederick and whoever else has stoned him.
Oh my! It's that bad. How about it? Trent Frederick and Andrew Mangiapane, who, by the way, just got put on waivers
from the Oilers.
Yes. What happened to him? He looked like one of the best forwards on the Flames a couple years back. This year is 14 points and is minus 19.
Shoot, last season he was putting up decent numbers when he was with the Caps.
Yeah.
I mean, it's astounding. If he gets picked up by a playoff contender, watch him go from being one of the worst forwards in the league to being a quality depth piece again. And I guarantee you that's going to happen. And this is the part that gets me, that just has me shaking my head. This entire time, you have had McDavid and Draisaitl, two players that every GM in the league, they would kill somebody. Not even somebody. They would kill multiple people, literally, to get those two. And that is not hyperbolic. You have Connor McDavid going Sonic the Hedgehog on the ice night after night, and Leon Draisaitl just waiting in the wing to fire one-timers. It boggles my mind to do that. And also, so Leon Draisaitl puts it out to the media. We need to get better. We need to get better in all facets of the game. There are multiple teams in this league right now. While granted, the goaltending is not great for the Blues. Jordan Binnington has had a down year, but I'm just using him as the example. You are not making calls. You're not doing your due diligence to secure a Stanley Cup for a city a country that has not had it in over, what is it now? It's been 3 decades since the Stanley Cup was brought home to Canada.
1993, the last time. Now we're at the 33rd year.
33rd. So 33 years, and the Oilers last time they were in the Stanley Cup, well, they lost to your Hurricanes, but the last time you won it was the 80s, right? They never won a cup in the 90s, did they?
1990, when it was Mark Messier and Bill Ranford.
Okay, so the beginning of the decade, the beginning of the 90s is when you won a cup. You haven't done it since. You were blessed. You have been blessed with McDavid and Draisaitl since 2015. Okay, Draisaitl came a little bit later. But still, and you haven't put it together enough to secure it. You've been there twice, but the usual suspects always cut your legs out from under you. That being defense and goaltending.
Of course, because what else would it be? Defense and goaltending. Two comparisons that of course, the defense part, which I make an accurate comparison to. Hey, wouldn't you know it? The Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, and the thing is, right? I see Oilers fans, right? They're rightfully angry, but they're blaming the wrong person. Some of them are looking at Chris Knoblauch. What exactly is Chris Knoblauch supposed to do when he's given 2 high-end pieces and whatever's over in the bargain bin?
Well,
the rest, including your goalie,
Tristan Jarry.
Oh
my God.
Tristan Jarry, who's playing worse than Arturs Silovs.
Is even playing worse than Stuart Skinner when he was in Edmonton this season.
And that right there. And so the last time, and Alec, correct me if I'm wrong, or just correct me, because I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about this. Stan Bowman was the one that signed Jack Campbell to a 6x6, right?
That was Ken Holland.
That was Ken Holland. Wow.
But Bowman's a worse GM than Holland, and his time in Chicago proved that. The Trent Frederick signing proved that. The Mangiapane signing proved that. And I don't know what even is the plan here in Edmonton, because everyone else is getting ruined. Why was he hired in the first place? There was no need for him in the front office. You didn't need Stan Bowman. You know what would have been an infinitely better option? The guy who's running the Islanders right now, Matthew Darsh.
Yeah, I don't know. And the fact that is it safe to say that listen, we were laughing at Ken Holland for drinking the stupid juice when he signed Cody Ceci to a 4x4.5. I think that deal is working out better than the Trent Frederick deal is at this moment.
Yeah, I have to say that, and it's not saying much. And even so, Ken Holland and Cody Ceci, they're used to one another. The pairing of Darnell Nurse and Cody Ceci was a fun pair. Not saying it was good, but it wasn't exactly bad. They were a fun pairing to watch.
Yeah.
I have to say, but now, let's put this into perspective. Nurse, Mangiapane, trying to see which two other players, Frederick and, let's see, because I read in a tweet, but Nurse, Jarry, Frederick, and Mangiapane combined are making $22.375 million this season. For perspective, Crosby, Malkin, Letang, and Stuart Skinner are making a combined $23.5 million. team building 101.
You know, when it's amazing how those legacy contracts look when it's not Ron Hextall, but Kyle Dubas in the GM position. It's amazing how those legacy contracts are looking now.
It is. Of course,
What was once looked at as simply a futile gesture of goodwill is now a key strategic asset, considering they have been allowed to turn back the clock because surprise, everything around them is performing at or above expectations. And it showed from the moment this season started when you had what's his name? Justin Brazeau. What did he score in the first 4 games of the season?
he scored the first goal of the Penguins season.
Yeah. And he kept scoring after that, I thought.
Yeah, he's having a career year right now. 16 goals, including 1 today. Not to mention other guys like Anthony Mantha, Tommy Novak, Ben Kindle, 18 years old, who scored today.
Yeah.
Just that's enough to put that into perspective about how bad things are going in Edmonton. The truth is out. The Oilers are a bad team. There's no other way to sugarcoat it anymore.
Yeah, and if they are smart, they will find a way to fire Stan Bowman. And Oilers fans, you're gonna hate me for saying this, but you know it's true. It's coming to an end. You trade McDavid and you trade Draisaitl and you start over. You have to start over because there's no way. First of all, there are very few general managers that can take one off season and turn a team as bad as the Oilers around and turn them into a Stanley Cup winner. There are very few who can. And you're certainly not going to do that with Stan Bowman. But here's the other thing. Because of the terrible contracts given to underperforming players, as far as I know, from what I know, they're not slammed against the cap, but they have very little room to maneuver right now.
They're stuck.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the Oilers are a mess, and if not for, here's my take, if not for McDavid and Draisaitl there, they would be as big a mess as Vancouver is right now.
Yeah, exactly. So if McDavid and Draisaitl are simply keeping this team from being a bottom feeder. That's how bad it is right there in Edmonton. And Stan Bowman is actively ruining this team the same way he ruined Chicago. And it capped off with the Oilers. July 1st, 2024 is a day that will go down in Oilers infamy.
Yeah.
For those who remember, that was the day that Bowman was hired.
Yep, and it will be looked at. And the thing is, it won't even be looked at the same way as as July. What was it? July 4th when the Wild got Parise and Suter. I thought it was July 4th, 2012 when they got those two. Anyways,
Yes.
The day that Parise and Suter were signed, it was not looked at first as a day of infamy. It was a day of hope. There was never a day of hope when Stan Bowman was signed as the general manager of the Edmonton Oilers. And there will be nobody who feels bad for the Oilers or their fans, because I guarantee you right now, actually no, the only ones that anyone may have a shred of sympathy for are McDavid and Draisaitl. Because because at this rate, they're going to be some of the greatest players that never won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and it's very depressing looking at it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next week's going to depend heavily on the result of my alma mater and how they do in the Big South Conference tournament. So, if High Point doesn't make it to the conference championship, it's going to be Avs versus Wild. Otherwise, it'll be High Point versus whoever we face.
All right, man. Hoping for more madness. Last year, your university delivered one of the most unprecedented moments, or one of the best moments of March Madness.
Yeah, and it was before March Madness even started, because it was a 15-point comeback against Winthrop, who is the record for the most Big South Conference titles.
That's right.
Yep. Oh, man. Yeah, High Point is the favorite to win the Big South tournament, so we'll see how that goes out. But thanks for joining along, Ian. Hope to have you here for next week.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
You too.